face of him
That boy is
smiling like
frozen.
really weirdly. I don't know. I don't know if that's.
That's a devious smile right
I know
there.
that smile's a little
That's
chilling in
because
a
once
way.
again, that's because I'm at the other device taking care of the business.
If that's one of your screenshots that you put up there or something, I wouldn't use that one to be
I
I don't
came
know. I
down
didn't
just
look at
because
it.
that
I
was
just
so
grabbed it.
good. Like I was like, you know what? You know what?
Yeah,
I
let's
want to
wait.
do your
Tyson handle the
folklore,
rest.
Jonathan Bang.
Go ahead, guys. I'm sorry. I'm at the bad setup. Go.
All right, Daphne, where you want us to go?
Take it away, chat. You're doing a bang up job.
All right. So I guess we will go back before the COVID conversation and talk about if you think that Trump has been making some brilliant decisions, some genius decisions, or if you think his decisions are chaotic. Or maybe some of you think, I need to wait a little bit more to see what this guy is doing. So I want to hear from either side. You think he's brilliant? You think he's chaotic? Let me hear it.
Well, I think in terms of the Chinese thing that he's trying to do, it's going to be a failure. The Chinese are they're ready to fight until the end, and they don't give a shit. And they actually responded with ramping up counterfeits, high quality counterfeits, and so many other responses.
Yeah, I mean, how many days? Where's Mook? I don't know how many days
What's
he's
the
been in
high
office.
quality counterfeits? What is that again?
Oh, go ahead.
He ain't
High
even.
quality replicas, as I like to call them, are basically they're as they're basically original copies of the real product. It's just they don't have put the logo on it, or they just they don't put it to spec. But now with the whole insults from JD Vance calling literally the whole nation of China peasants, when literally the whole middle class population of China is more of the population of the United States as a whole. Because of those insults, they could actually just give you the product which is close to 100% real at a fraction of the price, and it's disrupting the luxury market right now.
Because they just don't care, and they are going to expose the truth for what it is.
Yeah, no, but that comment from JD Vance, that was a faux pas. Oh, that pissed off the Chinese.
But
You call us what?
again,
Is it?
if if you think that they're gonna somehow prove something other than Americans have been ripped off now for a decade or 2 decades buying luxury bags that were actually just garbage.
Yeah, but
That's
that's the
that's going to
American.
backfire. That's going to backfire there on them.
It's
No, no,
stealing
no.
IP though. Like it is literally taking money from from American markets and like bragging on
Both
stealing is
ways.
crazy.
It's
What
taking
you
the
say?
jobs. It's taking
There we
manufacturing. It's
go.
ripping off. It's ripping off people's trademarks, and it's ripping off the American public, thinking they're getting something they're not getting.
Hey, I sense a hypocrisy here because America, when they were a destitute and poor nation, also stole IPs and so on and so forth from Europe, right? Many things that Americans appreciate and export and act as if it's their inventions. Like I remember I saw this interview by a guy and he thought French fries was American. He didn't know that pommes frites is from France. I mean, hamburger and so on and so forth. But this is what happens when you're trying to develop. You borrow from people and
So we're not supposed to be able to cook French fries.
make it your own, right? But once you become the top dog, now you want
We're
to
not
kick the
supposed to make
ladder
pizza here.
and you want to start crying. It doesn't make no sense, right?
Well, no,
It doesn't
nobody's
make no
crying.
That
sense.
argument is weak.
Are you
It's not
suggesting
The
weak.
that pizza
argument
and French
is
fries?
ridiculous.
Listen. Chinese is going to be for Chinese first. America is going to be for America first, right? And if you don't want your shit copied, don't go to China. Simple.
What? And you're basing that argument off of hamburgers and French fries?
No,
What I'm
as an
basing that
American, I
argument
think so. It's not that simple.
on is the government's The American government thought it was going to be status quo and that the world wasn't going to be able to adapt. Uh, Africa is going to stay destituted. They took out territory education from Africa and just focused on primary education. And Asia, China in particular, was just supposed to be producers. And then the Westerners are going to be the innovators, dealing with AI and all of this stuff. But you know what? The world caught up. Yeah. And now you want to cry about it. It doesn't make no sense. Just be the big bad bully that you always been, right? Because no one feels sad for the bully when the rabbit has the gun. Yeah, yay?
What country are you calling in from?
I don't even know who I'm talking to, ma'am. So
It
respectfully.
doesn't matter. You're speaking on a platform, right? You don't know who all of these people below you are in bubbles. What country are you calling in from? You
It
afraid to
does
say it?
matter because it doesn't.
It does matter. It does.
If
It
I
I'm
does
could
asking you
matter.
a
finish,
question.
if I could
That just
finish.
means you're a chicken.
Yeah, okay. Why we always have to go there, Angela? There's a
Oh,
better
that's
way you can get
Angela.
them without
Because
doing that.
no,
Because
no, no.
what he
Because
said made no sense, girl. You know what I'm
exactly,
saying?
exactly. But the point of the matter is because it doesn't make any sense, we have to know where he's coming from. So again, if we're all sitting here pouring our hearts out and speaking exactly what we're coming from, if we have no idea where he's coming from and he doesn't want to say it, I'm at the liberty to ask. And if he doesn't want to say, so be it. But I'm still going to ask. But I
Ask
respect
away.
his ability not to
I think
say.
you're
You
just
asked 3 times, you
I
didn't want
think
to
you're just
answer. That's
deflecting and
fine.
looking
Go
for
ahead.
Kira, I
But
ammo.
know,
there,
Karen.
but
Thank you for the lesson, Kira.
there are only certain people that you ask that question to because they sound different, and I'm saying that
No,
takes
no,
away from the actual
hell no.
that takes away from the actual idiocy in his point.
Hell no.
Saying that because we make hamburgers and French fries, because you had a conversation with somebody because they thought French fries came from America. That is a poor and a weak argument.
So
Like
that's exactly
literally,
why I said it.
No,
Why did
no,
I say
no,
yeah,
it
let's
isn't.
stay
That
We got
there.
is that
Stay in
exported
your own
hamburger
lanes.
to the
Stay
whole
in your own
world.
lanes. Stay in your own lanes. Dr. Hope,
that?
sit your
I don't
crazy
know what
ass
that means.
down. We never know.
Go,
Child,
go,
we
cat.
never know, Angela.
go
Go,
We
ahead,
never
go,
know.
Kat.
cat.
It's
Go,
not a bad
go, go,
argument.
Yeah,
cat.
The
yeah,
point
there you
still
go. They're the
stands.
crazy. Go ahead, girl. Get crazy.
It's not a bad
No,
argument,
go
Go
but the
ahead,
ahead.
point
Dr.
Go
Hope.
still
Go
on.
ahead.
Bringing
stands.
it. The girls are bringing it.
Remember, there used to be that guy who came on stage who thought the aliens were there, and Jonathan would always like make a joke, or Nelson would, that he was from the institution. They had to give him his hot milk or something. Do you remember that? The guy who thought there were aliens, Daphne, do you remember this guy? We'd bring him on like all the time because it was so funny. Sorry, Dr. Hope, but you have that vibe a little bit.
Yeah, cuckoo, cuckoo, cuckoo. That's what I hear. That's what I hear. And but see, the thing the thing is like what's bigger than that to me is like China thinks that they're doing something by saying, "Hey, your Birkins, we make your Birkins, and they come from here." Like that's the whole point. You're actually making the case why America is causing these tariffs to be or implementing these tariffs, right? Like
No,
we are
that
very dependent.
it's
Okay,
you.
go
No,
ahead
no, no,
there,
no,
rude
no.
man.
Yeah,
Go ahead, you got it.
I don't think
I think you
China
have
did
it.
that. I think China's citizens was doing that. Just to make that clear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, you must also understand, it's American companies,
Boy, hold
American
on,
companies
because
that took
one
advantage
second.
of this, right? No, wait, listen.
Listen, do the women in y'all lives have voices? Because I know I was talking. Anywho,
Yes, they do. We have a female president, but anyways, it's something that you guys couldn't manage to do.
I know, right? We failed. We dropped the ball right there.
But over 200 years of independence, you don't have a female president. We only took, what, 35 years?
Right?
Now we have a
Have you
female president.
seen our administration? Are you
You're right
kidding me?
there.
Stop it now. Stop.
No,
Anyways,
but I get it, right? China is it's the citizens, but we can't
I
act
see that
like
Homeland
they're not.
Security is going to be coming after your guys who are fucking on this app. And I'm not
Girl,
joking.
listen, I bet they'll listen to me before they listen to you.
Yikes.
I guarantee you they'll listen to me before they listen to you.
Chat, you were
Yeah.
saying?
Thank you. And she got one more time to threaten me. Okay.
Get around to fight.
One more
Yeah,
time.
really. And then we're gonna drop Dr. Hope right now today.
Yeah, okay, because she be doing too much. And I forgot what my point was, so y'all got it.
No, you were talking about the Chinese and the way how they're responding.
I think the thing about the Chinese is the government can, I think China can accept more hardship than Americans. And,
They
that
can
is,
because they saved. Actually, there's a point which I actually wanted to mention.
Dude, why do you
So
keep interrupting the women when they're speaking?
I'm not interrupting,
Okay.
but it's fine. She can continue. I wanted to add on to a point actually. So there's a different mentality between the Chinese and the Americans, especially when it came to this whole manufacturing, mass manufacturing, and selling goods. How did the Chinese manage to uplift so many people out of poverty in a short span of time? They saved their money. They don't. Okay, so Americans like to spend tomorrow's money. The Chinese, however, like to spend yesterday's money. So what am I trying to say? The Chinese have been saving and actually investing back into their country with all of the manufacturing and stuff that they've done ever since the 1990s until to date. Americans, on the other hand, like to spend everything on credit, and they like to spend on things on things which they frankly cannot afford, which is not a sustainable way of living. But then also the oligarchs in America haven't really fully reinvested back into their nation. They hoard that money for themselves, where they have private jets, golf courses that are driveways, and the whole nine. Yet, if you look at Chinese oligarchs, they're mandated by their government to plow back into the country and not show off too much, or else they get disciplined. And there's no in Chinese government society, there's no you don't have this situation like Elon Musk that has influence over the government. No, 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 no. The party is above the society. You will never find a situation where you get too rich to the point that you can influence the Chinese government. But in America, you have that situation, and you have all. This causes so many other issues with which your country is facing. I think yeah, that's the difference in mentality between the two nations. Hence why with China, they don't give a fuck. They're prepared to fight to the bitter end because they've been preparing for many years. If the Americans want to be an enemy to China, they're ready for that. If the Americans want to be friends with China, they're ready with any possibility. Right now, the ball is in Donald Trump's court, according to the Chinese. But yeah, I think this is the mentality, and that's how they see the world.
Clubhouse can speak tonight.
I
who
landed my
just said
plane.
something? There was a guy who said something. Who was that?
Was
No,
that
I
Clubhouse?
said
I cut up.
if Clubhouse can speak tonight, because I know Clubhouse is mainly just
Ken, you're up.
listeners.
So go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you very much. It's kind of hard to get a word in edgewise, but let me just say this real quick. So Donald Trump is not really interested in helping the American people. He's really interested in helping himself and make himself look good, right? His ideas are to progress his popularity. He loves the attention and all these kind of things. And people who love the attention like that are people who become dictators by default, right? Because they love the adoration and they love the power. All right. So the thing is this is that many citizens are afraid right now. Donald Trump is lobbying the Supreme Court to deport citizens. Um, and also the birthright citizenship is under discussion right now. These things have the markings of dictators, controllers. We will not have an election in 2028. that will not there will not be an election. The last election you may have is in 2026. Um, if anybody decides to vote Republican in 2026, you're a loser. 100%. You are a full-fledged, not paying attention loser. It doesn't matter how you make yourself happy. If you think that making yourself happy is voting for Trump, you're a loser. You don't care about your country. You don't know what your country is about. MAGA people don't know what their country is about. We are not like China. You understand me? And Donald Trump wants to make this country China. So I'm going to call you a loser for the rest of your life. Donald Trump is implementing everything I predicted. Everything I predicted, he's implementing. And this is what dictators do. You're going to see the military parade down Pennsylvania Avenue. When you see it, I want you to call yourself a loser. Thank you very much.
And who did you vote for, sir, this election, if you don't mind me asking? Or which party?
That's a rhetorical question.
No, he's calling Republicans loser, right? So I would like to know. Like, I mean, if you did vote for Democrats.
He voted for Kamala. Hey, I want to read.
What I would like to hear from him. Like, you weren't there next to
Oh
him,
yeah,
right, when he
sorry,
voted.
sir.
So I would
He's
like
not
to
even
hear.
on stage
I would
anymore.
like to
All right,
hear it
get him
also.
off the stage.
He's not
He dropped
on
his
stage
mic and he
anymore.
left.
Yeah, yeah. That was a
All
mic
right,
drop.
so we'll go ahead and move
Hey,
on.
hey,
Hey, I want to talk for a minute, just a minute, about that comment. If we can go backwards and talk about the comment between
That'd be great,
China,
Laura.
and then I got to be quiet because there's people in the other room. But the situation around savings between China and the United States is a true statement regarding the U.S. households estimate only a 2 or 3% savings rate, and in China it's 30 to 35%. But if you look at what people in China, how they spend their income, and how people in the United States spend their income, the number one category in the United States is housing, the cost of housing, whereas that's not the number one cost in China. The number one cost in China is actually food, cigarettes, and alcohol. And housing is much less expensive. So we've kind of done that to ourselves due to, in some respects, a scarcity of housing and a lack of supply, which has also driven prices up, and a lack of affordable housing. And so that's created a massive pressure on hardworking Americans. And it isn't just that we fill our, garages and our pantries and our, cabinets full of crap product that we buy from China, right? We're talking about households. We're talking about the real estate industry. That is a massive expense for young families, for families that are hardworking families. So anyway, just to say that it's not because we spend frivolously on products that are produced from China. It's way more complex than that. So just what you said was right, but you're not looking at the full picture, in my opinion.
But Laura, it's also true, I think, that because of the Chinese government and form of government, they can impose things on their citizens and they can expect a level of sacrifice that I think Americans would just not go for. We've seen that, and so we are individualists, states' rights, all these sorts of things. And I just think we don't have the fortitude, let's say, to deal with sustained sacrifice if that's what happened.
Yeah, oh no, I agree with that. I do think that there is a up and coming, very different element. If you look at the 100 million people that are working in China in manufacturing jobs, they're aging, right? The younger generation, the X Gen, the Z Gen, the Alphas, not X, but the Millennials, sorry, and the Z and the Alphas, those generations, those new kids, those younger kids that are studying, and they don't want to do those jobs, just like Americans. So that's a massive difference going on across the world. Of course, our plants anywhere in the world are going to be cobots and robotic plants, right? They're going to be highly skilled labor working in facilities because people don't want to stand there by an assembly line and sit there and take, look at peaches or tomatoes and pick the rotten ones and put them in another conveyor belt. So for years and decades, robotics have been installed in manufacturing plants. Now we're going to have much more sophisticated robots and AI generated imaging and all of this kind of color sorting technology is old in the food industry, but the new technology is going to be worldwide. It's going to be super phenomenal to watch happen. But it's I just think that overall, that like just kind of landing this plane, the men and women that are working in like e-bike plants and other plants in China. Oh, by the way, our cities do not want the type of facilities they have in Tianjin. You can't see the fucking sky. How many, I mean, we go back to the days of some of the manufacturing towns in America where you couldn't see the blue sky. Americans don't want that. They don't want to live in those kind of places. Tianjin sucks. Some of those cities in China suck from an environmental standpoint. Those days are over. So it's a balance as to what will actually come here, and tariffs aren't gonna result in that. You can't bully your way to coming back, bringing manufacturing back.
You're totally correct,
Also,
ma'am.
in China, you don't
And
really own the land, correct? So here in America, we when you actually purchase a home, you actually own the land that the home is built on. China, you do not. Am I wrong on that? You don't actually own the land in China. You own the
No,
building.
you have a lease for 70 years that can be renewable.
Right. So
But
you don't
once
actually
you
own
have
the
the
land.
lease, it's
So
yours.
In America, you
Break
do.
it up, Angela.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's yours. You
no,
don't pay the
you
property
don't
tax.
own the
Please,
land
TJ,
in
and look
America.
at you hopping in and interrupting another woman.
I'm not interrupting. I'm just clarifying. But you can
No,
continue.
that is
The
interrupting,
second
honey.
time you clarified by interrupting. That's good. We like that. It's interesting that you do it like that, but it we see through it.
She clearly got it.
You can clarify all you want. Go ahead. Go ahead. So go
No,
ahead.
I'm
You
done.
own.
I'm done. I just said it's 70 years. You actually own the land, and you can renew it afterwards. So yeah.
No, so you don't own the land. You buy the residential property that resides on the land, but you do not own the land. You own the rights to the building that sits on the land. But
Yes.
after a certain amount of years, again, 70 years, as you say, those rights are taken away from you. So
No,
here
you
in
can
America,
renew.
uh, mm, you
You can
can,
renew, and
right?
you don't
Right?
pay property tax.
You can, and you can, but again, here in America, and I just want to clarify, because that's the fact, is that you actually own land. You're not just the building, the land. So I
That's
yield back to
debatable.
you.
So, but what is your point about that, Angela?
Actually, you own
What does that have
land
to do
in
with whether
Africa.
Chinese can deal with more sacrifice or manufacturing?
The
What is the
point is,
point?
after a certain amount of years, 70 years, which in some people's lifetimes that may not be that long, is your land gets taken away from you and the house that sits on it.
No,
Bam,
no.
bam, bam, done.
What happens is, if let's say, for example, if the government wants to create something new where you're staying, the government will compensate you 20% over the value of the property that you're staying at, so that you can get another better property. That's usually how they do it.
And they do that in America as
Government
well,
having
right?
control over the
And
land
they
that
call
you
that
building that
eminent
you own
domain.
on the land that you don't own sounds amazing to me. But here in America, it's different.
They do
That's
I
the
not
don't
same
true.
thing
understand
in
what does
America,
that make,
though.
but why does that
They
have
do the
It
same
anything
thing
to
in America,
do
though. It's the
with
same thing
whether
in
the
America.
tariff war is going to be harder for Americans or Chinese?
that is
Why
not
are
that's
we
not what we're
acting
talking about
like
with the
in
tariff.
America
That's not the point.
there
But I thought we were
isn't?
talking about Chinese, their ability to withstand sacrifice and their savings and things like that. I just don't know what your point was, but
Yeah,
okay.
isn't there eminent domain in America as well?
There's a
Yeah,
Exactly.
there
concept
is.
called eminent domain, but of course the government typically would have to have a reason, a good public reason for taking over property. And yes, they have a certain amount of leeway there, but rarely would they go into a typical residential neighbor and just take over all the property.
History doesn't dictate that. Historically, they made up reasons in order to disenfranchise Black Americans. So that's not correct.
Okay,
It's
I
true.
will grant you that there are historical situations which were totally not fair, but what I'm trying to say is,
Yeah.
as a general rule, eminent domain is
No,
not
no,
used
no.
that much in America. It's just not, I wouldn't worry about losing your property to eminent domain necessarily, unless you are on a waterfront where the government wants to build some, you know what I mean?
No, no, I
It's
get
not
it.
a.
There's a different levels of sophistication. But what tends to happen in America is romanticizing history and then look at other systems and then wag their fingers. China has their own system. It's not even communism anymore, right? They have their own thing going, and 2025 in America or in 2025 in Europe or in Africa, Latin America, even though China is quickly catching up, is not the same time, right? So if you're going to compare things, you got to compare it in the correct context in terms of historical timelines. Otherwise, you get the skewed reality, I would call hyper reality, where you actually can't distinguish between the simulation and so on and so forth.
I just looked it up, you guys, and it looks like even though you don't own the land in China, you also don't pay property taxes in China. And the likelihood of you losing your property in China to China, because they own all the land, is just as low as us losing our property here to eminent domain. So there is that for clarification.
The issue is
Let me
that
just
That's
China
above and
owns
below.
land throughout Australia, South America, Canada. China has invested.
No, they don't.
Yes, they do. I guarantee you they
Oh,
do.
you want
I
to get told
guarantee you
off two
that.
nights in a row?
Oh, who the fuck is this?
I wasn't even talking to you. I was talking to chat.
God, girls,
Dr. Hope,
I'm not used to women who do this kind of behavior.
Dr.
And
Hope,
it's very
America also
toxic.
owns land, though. To your point, yes, China
Not in
owns land.
Australia, they don't.
America doesn't own land in Australia?
No, they not like China, dude.
I will say China likes to own land and strategic assets through companies that they actually do control. That they do control.
Yeah, and I'm not used to women telling me to shut the F up like 2 nights in a row. So I'm from the South, though. So maybe that's it.
No, I hear you. I don't like that. I don't like that lingo either. So I'm with you.
Okay, yeah, because I got yelled at yesterday, Angela.
I thought it was shut up respectfully.
No, there was nothing respectfully about what was said. I think I was told to shut the F up yesterday. But anywho, we were on China.
China.
But isn't China like infiltrating the infrastructure in Africa?
I wouldn't say infiltrate. They actually help us quite a lot.
I
They're
mean,
a good friend of ours.
why do you care? You've been in Africa for 500 years. The Westerners have been in Africa for 500 years, and whatever the West has done hasn't amounted to anything, right? And I repeated
True.
earlier about the territory
Oh, okay, we'll
education.
take our vaccines back and our health and all that. We'll take all that back then.
Who
We've done
cares?
nothing.
He
Who
already
care? I
Trump
We'll
already
mean,
take
did.
you
it.
interrupted me
We'll
to
take.
say
We'll
that,
keep
right?
taking it away.
Uh,
Then we'll do that.
uh, uh,
Trump already
uh,
did that,
I mean,
and
if you
it's
do
fine.
that, do you
Well,
realize
we
what?
probably heard people sounding like
Can
him.
I land?
So
She interrupted me. If you do that, do you realize what will happen? You will put China in a stronger position. That's a typical
Yep,
Trump move.
that's
Congratulations.
that's actually what's happening. Trump did a stupid thing, killing PEPFAR and USAID.
You can't make this stuff up, bro. Like these people are living in.
I mean, if I want a booty clap for China, you know what I'm saying? Then hey, like I would be saying what you
Oh
saying.
no, no,
But
no,
the
no!
thing
No
is
one is
that
booty
all
clapping.
they do, they just lied to y'all and told y'all that they weren't. Oh, we will not get involved in your government affairs and your diplomacy. And you're like, yeah, go ahead. And by the way, get Russia on your way while you're building this roadway and this thoroughfare. Grab Russia and let them come through and set up some
Yeah,
embassies as
but
well.
you must
But we're going to
understand.
slam America that have always had like The
That
best of
always had
interest.
what?
But we
That
don't close
always
to
had what?
China or Russia's interest because they claim that, like, y'all think that they aren't going to collect.
No one
You
has
must
said
understand the
anything
history
about
between
that,
Africa
right?
and
The thing
Russia and
is,
China.
I do know the history.
no, it doesn't
Yeah,
seem like you know the history,
especially here
right?
in
And the
Namibia and
thing
South
is,
Africa, they helped us
it's
fight
cool, right?
against
Hey,
apartheid.
yo, my Zimbabwean brother, come on, man. Let
I'm
me
not
just get
from
in there a
Zimbabwe.
little bit as
I'm not
well,
from
bro.
Zimbabwe.
Yeah,
No
let
problem.
them finish though, honey, and then we'll throw it back over to CH.
Cool, no problem. Can I finish?
Yeah. Go ahead, you got it.
Yeah. As I was trying to say, no, our relationship is gone from a long time, from the start of basically from the middle of the Cold War, and we all know from our experience. This is unfortunate because it's the first country that we went to for help, which was the United States. The United States was tacitly supporting apartheid under Ronald Reagan's administration. He called it constructive engagement. End quote. In quote. I'm doing air quote. When it came to dealing with the racist apartheid regime, so obviously we felt some type of way about that. So obviously we had to now go to people that actually could help us, which was Cuba, the Soviet Union, and China, and India, and obviously also Canada helped as well. Norway helped as well. But in terms of military support, it was the Soviet Union and China and Cuba, especially Cuba. They really helped us a lot. Without them, I don't think Namibia and South Africa would be independent today. I think it would be like Palestine today if it wasn't for those countries. And because of those that historical tie, we are very close with them, and they treat us as equals, especially when it comes to business. There's no this master donkey relationship which France likes to do. We don't have that type of relationship with them, and no, it's a win-win cooperation. Yes, I can admit some other African countries they've been under. It seems like they're being undermined by them, but actually, what's going on is Africans themselves that are causing that to happen. Because the Chinese, look, if they find you corrupt, fine, they will work with you if you're corrupt. But if you're standing on business and you want to help your citizens, they'll still work with you either way. Unfortunately, that's just how life is. But in terms of experience and our history for the past as I can speak from Namibia's point of view, from the past 100 years of over 100 years of history. If we were to compare the countries that we've interacted with, they are our best of friends, especially when it comes to things that are necessary to set up a country to develop. They really helped us a lot. I'm not discounting the United States contribution. The United States also contributed a lot where they could, especially with PEPFAR and the likes. But now all of those contributions, Donald Trump completely stopped it, which is we don't understand why. It's kind of we feel like that date that's waiting for the girlfriend to come to the dinner table and she stood us up. Now we're crying with our champagne bottle.
Uh-huh.
But China came to accompany us at that dinner table. So yeah, that's what's going on.
Lord, some of these people can't get dates. Nelson.
Exactly.
Hey, by the way, I'm dropping, and then I'm going to go to bed. But I'm dropping an article
Oh, okay.
about Africa and the top foreign direct investment (FDI) investment in Africa, which is definitely is led by China, followed by the United States, and then there's France and there's UK and some other countries. But you can read about that a little bit about the background there and. Learn a little bit more. It's an amazing continent, folks. I'm spending more and more time, probably a third of my year and half of my focus from a professional standpoint in Africa, mostly in sub-Saharan Africa. Significant amount of the funding is actually in North Africa, but yeah, there's some incredible work and innovation being done. Africa's a continent to watch, 100%, and it's amazing to work there and be there. So, if anybody wants to learn about U.S. Doing business in Africa, reach out to me anytime. all day, any day.
Kudos, my brother. Africa is actually on the
I'm a
come up.
sister. Sister.
Oh, my bad. Forgive me, ma'am.
It's okay.
No
Love to meet
offense.
you one day.
I see we're number 7 on the list. Ha ha.
Hey, anyone know those Nvidia chips is coming to Africa now? Yeah. I think it's business as usual. Know this. One thing that Trump made a mistake is he telegraphed his punches in. I believe it was in 17, where he was talking about tariffs, right? And then he didn't execute. And plus China was like, please let's negotiate. But little did he know that they saw that and they went back to the drawing board and actually instituted a plan in order to get ready for him and his punch. And quite frankly, they reduced, if I'm not mistaken, exports to from 15% to at least 11%, right? And that just goes to show, like, when you talk too much, and you're this big bully, you're gonna try to, it never works out right. So if it keeps on going, they're just going to diversify their portfolio, and it's in their best interest to actually create a market, just like Abraham Lincoln, right? He wanted to create a market so they have consumers and workers. Yeah? It's nothing new. It's already in history. And this is what's going down. It's nothing profound about it. Like, the Chinese people don't trust Americans anymore, just as much as Americans don't trust them. And I'm like, have at it, Hus. It's your prerogative. I don't judge it. I don't believe in the left or right paradigm. I believe that's archaic and anachronistic. We're not in that season anymore. So I just think everyone should just like step their game up, basically. And I love a good showdown.
You act like China meant like China wasn't impacted. I read today that 40 of the smaller banks were acquisitioned by larger banks because they couldn't make it, and then they got a stockpile of shipping containers on the docks because they can't afford the tariff to move their goods because of ship because it costs too much to move them.
That's not how business and finance work. Everyone is going to get impacted when partners break away, right? All I was mentioning is they try to soften the landing because he telegraphed his punch, and he's actually not that great of a businessman. That wasn't a great business decision, let's say. So I'm not acting like anything, right? It is what it is. The data points are there. Obviously, everyone is going to suffer. And this is why, like the old lady said, oh, certainty, certainty. No, we're all in uncertainty. And that's is certain.
Sorry. Did you just say old lady?
In terms of what, I don't remember.
Uh-oh.
I don't know. I asked you a question. If you could respond to it or not.
Towards whom?
Towards whomever. You said old lady. I'm asking if you said old lady.
In
Who are
what
you referring
context?
to?
Just give me some more. I said a lot. I don't remember.
It better not have been me. I'd be quite
I'm,
offended.
I'm, I'm, I'm literally
I'm not.
asking you a
I
question.
haven't
It's
talked
not a
about
different.
any. I was talking about the one that was in the room earlier, but I didn't mean that as a bad thing or anything. I shouldn't have mentioned age and in lady. I wasn't talking to that person that I spoke to just recently. I was talking about the one that was talking about certainty. Yeah, I get it. And mind you, English is not my native language. I'm an autodidact. I learned English
You're
myself,
digging a
so
ditch, man.
I'm a little quirky
I
at the
think it
way
was Dr. Hope.
the way I stitch words together. So please slow your horses and bear with me. I'm trying my best. Thank you and forgive me.
We'll give you a pass on that one. Yeah.
I'm not giving you a pass. So someone muted me. I'm not giving you a pass. No, no way, no how, no sir. You basically said something. You referenced someone. You basically
It was
said
Dr.
something.
Just
Hope.
let
We're gonna
English is
keep
not his
moving
first
on.
language. Yeah.
Yeah, it was
I don't
Dr.
know if I
Hope.
want to,
We're
but
gonna keep moving on. Next, please. Next
Sir,
person that want to speak.
please.
mhm.
Jazzy, another thing which I wanted to say, what China has contributed, is them open sourcing DeepSeek. People don't seem to understand the magnitude of that decision that the Chinese people have made, the gift that they've given to the world, because that's the equivalent of the Manhattan Project's recipe being given for free to the world, and that's huge. And for that alone, I can. Who could hate Chinese?
We do.
Not us here in
Thank you,
Africa. It's a
Scooby.
blessing.
We don't hate Chinese. We don't hate Chinese.
It was a
That was
blessing
an
that
asshole response.
DeepSeek.
Nah.
Because with DeepSeek, if you're smart enough, you could literally make millions off of that. If you're smart enough.
But look at the bright side, you guys. Like, I mean, America is so dependent on China, right? Like now the companies get to distribute their wealth to or the jobs to another countries like India, Pakistan, Sri Lanka, like Bangladesh. So I feel like it's a good thing what's happening. So other
Yes, it
countries have an
causes us.
opportunity.
I agree. It causes us to diversify. We need to diversify because it is, in 2050, they're supposed to be equal to us in military might. And, we're getting all our major, I guess, natural resources from China. We're getting a lot of them to make our military stuff. We need to get somewhere else so we can continue to develop our military.
Exactly, Scooby. So now everybody knows, like, it's bad what's happening, but feel like they are holding all the cards. Like, why does America has to give all the cards to them? Like, why not they just spread it out and not depend on any country?
I
Like
blame Henry Kissinger, low key, for this economic arrangement that we have in the world right now. Do you guys remember when Henry Kissinger went to China secretly before Richard Nixon went to go visit China in the 1970s? That opened up this trade relationship that is now under scrutiny. Do you guys remember
yes.
that story?
Well, I know that's got us in a bind.
Yeah, I think that's where it all started. This new globalization type of economics.
I don't trust China. I mean, the fact is, just in this little fight we're in with the Houthi rebels, they're using their Chinese satellites to target our ships and stuff. There's, I mean, that's and they're saying they're all about creating good relationship with countries. Well, that ain't a way to do it.
Well, you do realize they're shooting down apartheid Israeli affiliated ships. So any ship that is pro-Israel will be targeted.
They're shooting U.S. ships at U.S. ships. That's okay. They got their ass tore up too when they did it.
Yeah, but it seems like they're not really losing. Yes, you might be able to shoot them here and there and do the odd war crime, but no, they seem to be very determined. But oh well,
They shoot at us, we're shooting back. That ain't no war crime.
that's fine. But also, you can't you can't shoot a group of village people trying to have to figure out how to fix the what called the irrigation system. But oh well. Yeah, that issue, you already know why that's the case. It's apartheid must stop in Palestine, and then there'll be peace. But well, yeah, it's just a whole kerfuffle right there.
Yeah, sorry, I got kicked off the app. That's why, in the middle. And I didn't mean no offense or anything. I thought that was a figure of speech, right? But if I caused any offense, I'm sorry. That wasn't my intent. But one thing that I will say, and why it might sound, because most of you don't know me, right? Like I'm going very hard against America. Nah, that's just in this conversation. I got equal smoke for everyone, right? My problem is when I hear from one side, oh, look at them, look at them, look at them. And I'm like, but what about your allies? You're very hyper focused on China and sweatshops, but the South Korea got sweatshops. Bangladesh got sweatshop. Indonesia got sweatshop. Why you not mention them? And while we added it pertaining to Africa, how come you're not talking about France, Germany, all of this stuff that they doing towards Africa? You know what? Because it's not in your best interest. And me, I understand psychology behind things, and I'm willing to give it grace and say, you know what, you're doing what's best for you. Have at it, Hoss, as you should. But I share that sentiment towards everyone, including us, right? Because consistency is key and it's really important to me. So I don't end up as a oh my God, hypocrite. Because I got to look myself in the mirror every day and I actually talk with myself. I'm friends with myself. And you know, that's what that is. I don't have a hating bone in my body, but I can't fake it either. That's just the way I'm built. So I hope that helps and kind of highlights a little where I'm coming from. And that's why I was mentioning earlier. I don't subscribe to the left and right paradigm. You see, I have certain things I'm liberal about, other things I'm conservative. And I understand politics are personal. So I'm just going to land so I don't go on this huge tangent. Thanks again for letting me speak.
Whoever threw me down, you know what? Y'all suck. I love this country. I love this
Scooby.
country, and y'all can kick rocks as far as I'm concerned.
Yo, don't throw Scooby down. Who did that?
No,
Scooby,
that
I
was
apologize.
fun.
I don't know who threw you down.
Let Scooby come up. Why did people? No,
I don't
Scooby's
know.
still.
Where is he still? Oh, he's back
He's
up
still.
now.
No, he's still there. Yeah, he's still there. That was funny. No, I don't engage with Scooby. Scooby.
The way I look at it is I see Trump. He told us he was going to strengthen the borders. He strengthened the borders. He was going to deal with the illegal aliens. He's doing that. He was going to redo the education. He's doing that. He's going to make it a smaller government and he's doing that. So he's doing a lot of good things, and he's done this in a short period of time. He's done more in a short period of time than some presidents done their whole uh, time. Now, do I agree with
That's
all
true.
his? Do I agree with the tariffs and the way they are right now? No, but maybe down the road they might look a lot better. Right now, he's got to work through them all, and he's seeing when he's going to crash the market, and he's making changes to correct himself. So I give him credit to catch himself.
Yeah, that's true, Scooby. At least that's the true point on that point. But hey, it is. It's a delicate balance. But who's going to get screwed over is the biggest question. The $1 million question. Who will get screwed over? Any other?
I just see China coming after us, in the next 20, 25 years, and I want our kids to be able to make sure this country's safe.
I don't think any of them are they want actual proper war. Nah, no one is interested in that. We're not interested in that. We want to make money equitably as possible. We're not. I don't think we're interested in war, like World War III type of thing. Nah, we're not. We're not interested in that. Um,
Not at
but
all.
yeah, like continue.
Oh, I just said not at all. Um, History doesn't dictate that. I think it's just fair mongering.
Well,
It is.
I see Trump trying to help end some wars that they don't want to end,
That's a lie.
and countries,
Oh, I
trying to
shouldn't
get
say
nuclear
lie. Sorry, sir.
capability that could change the whole Middle East if Iran would get a nuclear weapon. They could change the outlook of the whole Middle East. That could be very dangerous.
Wait, but Israel can have nuclear weapons
Or
and bully
America, for
the
that
whole.
sake? I mean, what is this?
Does that make sense?
If anything, everyone should have nuclear weapons. How about that?
And
Yeah, crickets.
there'll be no bullying.
You'll probably find something
I don't
else.
agree with that
Something
because I
else.
look at North Korea and I think how unstable they are
Oh,
at
North
making up.
Korea is a quintessential country that is actually sovereign. They're not unstable at all. It's the hostile actions that they have to go through for the past almost 80 years that forces them to have such a stance. But in reality, if you really were to dig deep in their psyche, they just want peace and they just want to coexist as a normal country. But since the obviously now it's a hostile capitalistic world, they don't want to do capitalism. They have to have this stance. But primarily, the nuclear weapons and the ICBMs are purely insurance to maintain their way of life. And if you cannot respect their way of life, that's more reason for them to be strapped up. It's like it's like living in the neighborhood, in the ghetto. You need to have that Glock on you so that other people don't come and bully you. It's essentially the same analogy, but on a country level.
I want to know where y'all get y'all information from. I'm 44 years old. I grew up in the ghetto, and I never had to carry a Glock. I born and raised in Cabrini Green, grew up on the west side of Chicago. Everybody don't have to carry a Glock, so y'all need to stop saying that and comparing it to the ghetto. If you haven't lived in the ghetto, you shouldn't be speaking on the ghetto. And
I
to
have.
Scooby,
I'm talking about my side of the world here, but yeah.
and you carried a Glock.
I wouldn't. I couldn't make it in the ghetto.
It's anyways an analogy.
But he
It's
he
not
Yeah,
supposed
he
to.
I
You're
he
not
know. I
supposed to take
know.
it
represented
literal.
a war torn country with the ghetto that, and we're nothing like them. That's not a good reference. And Scoob, I had a question for you. You said Donald Trump has tried to end two wars that they don't want to end. What have he done to end it?
Well, he's trying to get them to work together, but they ain't wanting to work together. They're
It's
trying.
like he's doing more initiating than trying to solve it.
Oh, he's trying to. It wasn't his war. He didn't
He
start them.
no, he but he's still initiating. He brung Vladimir here to put him on the real front to embarrass him, to make him look weak. That's not helping the war. If you're gonna bring him to the United States, you should have had some type of solidarity with him. Y'all got him there to make him look like a fool. So that's not helping the war. You brought Israel in here to make them look like a champion, make them look like a king in their war. He's not trying to end them. Or why would he say end it quickly? He's motivating the war.
I don't think so. I think all he's done is support Putin.
And then you said
And
he's doing a good thing with the schools. He's picking up where he left off when his best friend was one of the ladies over wanted that started some of the charter schools to get that up and running. That's why he's trying to eliminate what we have already. So how is he helping the school system when the teachers are more uncertain?
charter schools are like private schools, right?
Correct.
So he's privatizing the education sector.
And he's allowing them to go into the schools, the better schools. He allows them to select what schools they want to go to, so they don't got to be stuck in a substandard school. Which around here's there's schools that are terrible around here compared to the good ones. There's a big difference between good ones and bad ones there.
Well, he can tune up the schools. Listen here, right? With the school system. If you got just deal with one school. If we take 200 kids out of one school, we ain't got that many charter schools. So what about the other kids? If you disrupting the whole system, it don't make sense. So
Well,
you gonna take
he's
200? Hold on,
he's making it
I let
state
y'all speak
priority
all
to do
night.
that
Can I speak?
and take it out
I
of
beg
federal
of you.
hands, right?
He's just deflecting. Carry on, sir.
If you take 100. How many schools across the United States is he disrupting? Many. How many charter schools do we have across the United States? Not many to compensate all these kids. So you're disrupting the system and not making a plan. It sounds silly. It's asinine.
Well, he's forcing the states to make their own plan.
He should allow
Yes, but
them.
what's happening?
Well, if you were going to
He's
do
they're
that,
taking.
if you're going to give them the power, you should have give them time to implement something before you
Well,
disrupt it. It
I
only
agree
makes
with that.
sense.
I don't agree with
So
the
you
way he's
saying he's doing
doing
a good
things,
thing?
but
He's
it
not
needs
doing a
to be
good thing,
done.
but it's not a good thing. You praising it like it's a good thing. It's not. It's going to be
It's
people
better
left
than what we
behind
have
if you.
right now.
But the whole point, he's trying to catch people up, right? Out of the public schools to get them caught up with a good education. But you're gonna leave more people behind. So how is you helping anything?
So you actually think it's better to remove something that you have, which is not quite working, onto something that is not ready? I think that sounds like
The
the
states don't
same
got to change what
results,
they're
no?
doing. Man, the states can follow the same thing they've been doing, but if it don't work, he just took it out of the federal hands
If
from
Yeah, he
something
took it out
doesn't
of the
work, you're
federal
from
hands,
supposed to
the
but
fix
state.
it,
he also took the
right?
federal dollar. He's taking the federal dollar, so it's still you haven't have schools don't make money. Schools is not an income producing entity unless it's a
The money
college.
follows the student, right?
Okay, you're gonna have the money follow the students, and only just say one school holds over 300 kids. A charter school holds the same thing. So how you gonna take all of those kids out of several buildings to put in two buildings? It don't make sense. Stop it. It don't make sense. It don't add up. The teachers is already outnumbered with the students. Now you're gonna put more students with less teachers. How the hell do that make sense?
Yeah, there's something
Well, the
fundamentally
states will
wrong.
figure it out. That's the
Yeah, but
way he's looking
You
at
should
it.
have let them
that's
They
figure
something.
it
got a
out
lot of smart
first
people
before
up top there.
get lost behind. Y'all saying China leading in education, why allow people to fall behind? Put something in place first.
Exactly. There's something really crazy about saying he's making changes. Something's got to be done. Okay, but you don't just break everything without implementing or planning it. You can't say, I'm going to take away the Consumer Protection Agency. You can't just say, we're going to take that away. You can't just say, we're going to break the school system. You can't just say that we're going to change the health structure that you have and have nothing in place. That's just ridiculous.
And it's proven to us, like he said on that debate stage, no, I don't have a plan. I got a concept, and everybody's so sold on the concept without having a plan. I think it's stupid.
Have your schools changed so far? I've not seen a change in the schools already.
School, that's the same thing as somebody saying, I haven't seen an American deported yet, but he's working on it. He's working on it. So if we could get ahead of him, do y'all guys think just because it hasn't happened yet, but it's already in the works? It's in the works without a plan to back it up. Come on now.
Who's gonna put it in the works at what level?
They got this
It's
Sir,
thing.
gonna
They got
be
this.
done at
Hold
the
on,
state
hold on.
level, and it's gonna be done at their pace, right?
Right, they got this thing
sir,
that they have with the president and all the governors, right? Y'all familiar with that? Why not strategize there first and then make a change? Come on now, y'all act like the government don't work with each other. Why not strategize a plan? Let him work with the governors. The governors take what he feed them, and you feed it down to the cities and the local governments, and then y'all come up with a plan. Then y'all take it back to the table, and then you start striking shit down. What don't make sense? They started with the most dumbest thing, and we have seen the cut in the food budget that the kids to eat a meal at the school. We already seen that change. We seen the change that the Head Start kids in Michigan couldn't go to school right after Trump did that. Changes are already being felt. What is y'all talking about?
now we're seeing the
Anybody
change with
else
the
got any
fact that,
input on this? I don't think we're
yeah,
gonna agree.
no, but
I think it's
we,
gonna take place slowly.
it's not
If
taking
the
place
states are
slowly.
just yanking things out of the
No,
way, and
It's not taking place slowly. If you look at what Doge has done, they've gone in and they've broken agencies. That wasn't slow. They've tried to dismiss thousands of people. That's happening. And there are knock on implications. They're breaking the social services offices. That is actually happening. So it's not like, oh, it's a slow train. These things are taking place. The problem is the full implications of what is happening are seeping their way through the economy and through society. Little by little, people start seeing this and saying, oh my God, I didn't anticipate that. It's like the farmers who are now suffering with the markets that they've lost because of the tariffs. These things are taking place now.
Well,
Don't
hopefully he
don't
addresses it
also
as they bring it up to him. That's
the
the only
soft
thing he can do, though.
the soft power of the United States is deteriorating as well with all of these changes.
Well, rather than following the
Not sure if you
money,
guys
like
don't notice it, but yeah.
why don't we just follow the money? Like news is basically just a money trail. It's all fake news essentially. It's basically a money trail and what we hear, it's an opportunity to ride some sort of a wave. So I would look at this from what can we be investing in to ride the wave and economically gain rather than just riding the wave and feeling the negative aspects of it. Like how can we take what's happening and actually monetize it to a value of a return so that we come up on top rather than just complaining. That's my question and that's what I want to know. Like how can we take what's happening and make it for our gain? Because there are people that are making tons of money, millions of dollars every single day because they are above the rat race. They're above the people that are just listening to the boob tube. They know how to navigate and shake and shift. And why don't we be those people? Why don't we be the people that's taking what's happening and use it for our advantage? Because we all deserve to be monetarily free, to have finances to do what we want to do with them and be better for it and make the world a better place for it. Like there's just there's a fine line between complaining about what's going on and seeing what's going on and saying, "Hey, this is what's going on. Let's group together and let's find how we can strategize to be part of the gain rather than the complain." What are your thoughts on that?
I got a simple thought on that, Kayla. How you doing on today?
Hey, doing pretty good. Yeah, just chilling out, Max, relaxing, all cool.
I don't have the answer, but I mean, I really just got a question with your question. But I'm with you 100%. Is people need to pivot in a lot of many different ways. But if everything disrupted, how could you really invest in real estate when your cost of getting into real estate, whether you're doing a rehab or fix and flip, materials are going up? How can you invest in the car industry when your parts going up? You won't be able to meet the demands of your consumers. So
Oh,
how many
100%.
how many things can we invest in that won't include the tariffs that's out there for everybody?
Right. Well, so we look at it and we look at actually the monetary system is crashing, right? Like the US dollar is no longer accepted in like multiple countries, blah, 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 blah. But this is all news, and we need to look at the news and then pivot so we can financially gain. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, I hear the complaints, I get it. Like, I'm pissed too. I think it's shit. But there's a way, and I don't know the answer. That's like what I want to have a talk about is like, okay, how do we take what's happening and make monetary gains? And like I live in California, dude, getting real estate here is shit. You have to make 3 times the amount of whatever the mortgage would be just to qualify to even get it. Like it's all shitty. So I would say maybe right now real estate isn't the angle. I would say crypto might be the angle. Like there's going to come a time, and it's coming soon, I think, where there's going to be a shift in the monetary system, right? Like it's going to start being more of a universal system. Is that Bitcoin? I don't know. Is it crypto? I don't know. I don't know, but I want to talk to people who want to find out because we are at a wealth transfer right now that's like the Great Depression or like the Industrial Revolution, where like shit hits the fan and people fuck around and they find out. And the people that find out are the ones that make money on times when things are shit. And so it's a turning of the wheel. And how can you turn that wheel to the benefit of not only yourself, but like future generations that would precede you? Like, how can that be the outcome? Like, I want to talk about more solutions. I want to talk about ganging up and figuring it out. Like, where should we
Have
be
you have you
investing?
have you watched Ray Dalio on this topic in terms of the rise and falls of empires,
Have I watched what?
or read Ray Dalio's book?
No, I
He
haven't. Should I?
he talks exactly about this. What Trump is doing is actually exacerbating what he's predicting in terms of the rise of China and the decline of the United States.
Yeah, so okay, so what's his name? How do I find that book?
Ray Dalio. There's a famous documentary that he summarizes what he mentions in the book in a animated documentary on YouTube about the rise and falls of empires.
Well, that's the thing. We're at like the precipitous of a major fall and a major rise, like all at the same
Yeah,
time.
yeah. He talks about this exactly. Yeah, you should check that out.
Yeah, I just feel like when we focus our energy, and I like didn't dip into like the entire conversation, so I'm not like calling anybody out here or anything because like I didn't hear it all, but I'm just saying like just in general, when we focus on the problem rather than strategizing the solution, we get caught up in the hamster wheel. And I don't want to be caught in the hamster wheel. I want to say, okay, this is what's happening. How can I be smart? How can I gain? How can I be in the revolution from the gain side rather than the riding the wave? Like, I don't want to ride this wave. I want to take what's happening, take the news. Like, news is not news. It's follow the money. So,
I
like,
completely agree. But not a lot of people would understand. But I wish more people would understand. But yeah, no, it is a seismic shift that's happening. These are the symptoms of what you call it, a course correction in terms of the realignment and the alignment of nations.
so in that time of a course correction, there's opportunity to invest in things that will make you money.
Indeed, 100%.
So what are we talking about that are those kind of things? Like, do we think it's crypto? Do we think it's like what are we talking here that we think would help us all rise?
I think anything pertaining to national defense, that deals with military spending, because that's not going to go away, I don't think.
That depends, but we'll see.
It's kind of heard like just the different things about Trump, like he's wanting to kind of get away with like taxes. Has anybody else heard of that? Like where like I don't know if it'll happen, but I've heard that we're taxed on our money when we make it, right? And like I live in California, not only am I taxed on my money when I make it, but I'm taxed on my money when I spend it.
We'll
And so
see if the so-called tariffs that he's imposing on everyone, which, well, mind you, it's Americans that are paying for the tariffs, not us that's importing them. Yeah, if he makes enough money from the whole tariff squabble in his own unique version of economics, then yeah, maybe he may get rid of income tax for the normies. But for his billionaire buddies, he's already doing that very soon.
yeah, well, I think that taxation is essentially bullshit, honestly, because you should only be taxed on what you represent. If you don't agree with what you're paying for, why the hell are you paying for it?
No, the reason why taxes are there, it's to keep the illusion of scarcity in the money supply. Since actually, this whole thing of apparently taxes fund government, that's bullshit. It's actually treasury, the what call it, the Federal Reserve buys treasury bonds from the government. But where does the Federal Reserve get the money to buy the treasury bonds? They print it out of thin air. Now, because of
Yeah,
that,
smoke and
they have
mirrors.
to implement a system in order to keep the money supply in equilibrium so that there's no runaway inflation, to keep the illusion to the normal citizens that they're funding government when in actuality it's the opposite. But oh well.
Yeah, but we're
Yeah,
seeing runaway inflation. I mean, look at it. Shit costs way more than it should. Like, if our taxes are to quote comfort that, like they certainly aren't. Like, and I pay, like, I don't even get to choose. Like, out of my paycheck every 2 weeks comes taxes that go to things that I don't even agree with, and I don't get to choose. That's what sucks.
yeah, that's why we had a plan in Africa, Gaddafi. We want to basically create a one currency, one government in Africa, and our currency was going to be backed by the gold standard. But then obviously Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama killed our president. Since 2011, ever since 2011, our relationship with the United States has deteriorated. Ever since they did that, but oh well.
Yeah, well, what do y'all think about like going back to the gold standard? Do you think that's a possibility?
It's a good idea
Before
if you want.
before we talk about the gold standard, I mean, are we all clear that there is a purpose for taxes, right? There is a purpose for being taxed.
What's the reason? So the government can behind the scenes do whatever the hell they want and not have to report it?
Well,
I mean, I don't get
taxes,
taxes. I really don't.
taxes. Yeah. Well, the purpose of taxes is to ensure that we have roads and bridges, public transportation, schools, education, police, firefighters, the military, healthcare, social programs. That's why we have taxes.
Yeah, but the thing
So
Yeah,
is,
but then
I pay taxes and I still
what's the
pay a
point of doing that
shitload
if
in
they
healthcare.
print the money out of thin air?
well,
Listen, I pay
I'm
taxes and I also pay a lot for healthcare. Like it doesn't add up. It's not for healthcare. And if you want healthcare from the government, it's super shit and you can only go to certain doctors and they sit in the room with you and they literally
yeah.
notarize everything you say. Like everything is government controlled. I don't want that.
Okay, but you
And it's
use roads, right?
overpriced.
You do use a road.
I do use a road, but
Okay,
I
and
don't need
you
to
went to
pay to.
school, and you went to school at some point,
Yeah.
and you do like the fact that there is a police force, and if your house is on fire, it's a good thing to have firefighters, and
Well,
maybe it's a good thing to
that
have the
all goes
military.
into my insurance. I pay $8,000 a year in insurance, so you bet your damn dollar that if something happens, somebody should show up at my house. I mean,
Okay, but yeah, but in general terms, I'm just addressing taxes. Like nobody really wants to pay taxes, but there is a purpose. That's all I'm saying.
well, I could
Yeah,
say a
there is a
property
purpose, but that's
tax
not
is
the
a
purpose you're giving. Yes, in theory, that is what it's supposed to be, but in practice, especially when you're in a fiat currency situation, that doesn't make sense. When when the central bank prints money out of thin air to buy treasury bonds, the same treasury bonds that you and I can buy, but we use our own actual money that we earn and make a percentage off of basically buying government debt, and then they pay us at a predetermined time. But now with the central bank buying the same exact treasury bonds, but from funny money in order to fund
yeah,
the
it's fake.
government. Doesn't make sense when they're doing this, and then there's the taxing. So that's why I
Hold
said the
on, Eric.
taxes are actually there to equalize the money supply. Because if there weren't taxes, then there would be too much issues. There would be a glitch in the system. But All of this wouldn't be necessary if it was if there was a gold standard. But
Yeah, that's what
obviously,
I'm
people want to
saying.
steal and they want to gain more wealth
This is guy's gonna talk
than
forever.
what exists in gold on Earth. That's why they delinked it in 1971 under Nixon. So there is a reason for everything.
Don't you think it's possible it could be linked back up again? I'm just talking about like making money. I'm not, we can talk about problems all day, but like how can we ride the wave of what's going on and future forward think of how we can monetarily gain? I'm not like talking about all of us living in rich ass mansions. I'm saying have your needs met, have resources to become an entrepreneur, have resources to put your money where you actually speak. When you put your money toward taxes, you don't get to speak at all. It's the government handling your money for you. It's not right.
You need to
I
create
agree.
pass. What you need to do is create a pass-through entity, and that's actually what I did after the first tax law that Trump put in his first term. You need to create. You need to figure out a way
Hold
to
on, Eric.
instead.
Taylor, you need to
Uh,
mute.
if you want to take
I'm not saying
advantage
anything.
of the
We
tax.
can't hear you.
Okay, no problem.
There we go. It's working now.
I think we can hear you. Just try again.
Try again,
Oh,
Eric.
I probably have headphones on that are not working, so no problem.
Yeah,
No,
and
it's not
Taylor
working.
needs to mute as well. That's
Just had
probably
another mic
causing
open.
the echo. Try again now, Eric.
Oh well, she was just asking about what she could do to take advantage of what the climate's going to be like, and I said, figure out a way that you can work as a loan out and create a corporation around your earnings. Um, that may not be so easy for some people. They have a normal 9 to 5 job, but if they do have a skilled trade, there are ways to create an S corp. And if Donald Trump changes the corporate taxes to benefit corporations, I suggest you figure out a way to become a corporation, and then you will be able to fortify your earnings and keep them from going to the federal government and even the state government. Because I did want to bring up too, like we were talking about the federal monetary policy and taxes, but you have to also realize that schools and different things take from different tax pools. We have state taxes, we have local taxes. Schools, particularly, are often funded by property taxes. So taxes come from everywhere, not just the federal government, and not all taxes go to waste, but a lot do. So that's all I was saying. I hope you could hear me.
Yeah, I think a lot goes to waste, honestly. Like when I started to see like what our country or my state is doing with my tax dollars, it's like, dude, I actually don't approve of that
Well,
message.
what do you do? What's your job?
Well, I am an instructor for United Airlines, so I
Mm.
teach people. And I also have a side business, so I have like 1099s that come in where I do different things and I do a lot of write-offs and all of
Okay,
that.
so
But
on
I'm just
all
saying,
of
like,
your 1099 income, what I suggest you do is try to incorporate yourself. You can do it. You can get a lawyer to create an S corporation for yourself. So whatever you're making 1099s on, try to funnel that through an S corporation, and that will give you the ability to create a SEP IRA, which is an unlimited IRA that you can put. It's an IRA basically, right? And so you can dodge a lot of taxes that way. And then you can also be able to have a lot of write-offs, toward your business if you're able to like route all those 1099 to an S corporation.
yeah.
That's what I suggest you do. You can't.
So is a S corp, would you say, the best structure, like an S corp? Because there's all different types of like
Yes.
structuring.
Yes, if there's a way that you can put all your 1099 work into some like one category, just create, you'll create a business incorporation around that, and you just run
Uh-huh.
all those earnings through your S corp. I mean, obviously you can't do it with United. You're probably on a
Yeah.
W-2 there. They're not
Yeah.
going to pay you on a loan out because of liabilities and whatnot. But I suggest you create an S corp instead of trying just doing the 1099s. Figure out a way to do the S corp, especially if Donald Trump's tax laws are how we think they're going to be. That was the first time, Mike. In 2000,
17, 18. That's when my accountant said, "Okay, buddy, now your Uncle Donald is in office, and he wants you to make a lot of money, so you're going to have to change the way you do things and create an S corp." Not an LLC so much, for me, and I think the S corp will get it done. And again, the biggest benefit out of that is if you take advantage of creating a SEP IRA, and then that way you can just put tons of money into your IRA,
That's
and to
smart.
avoid
That's
taxes.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Yep.
smart.
Yeah. So
Yeah, I could see that a step Ira. Yeah, I could see that.
yeah, because like the regular Roth, I think is like a $6,000 or $7,000 cap, and then the SEP IRA, I think is way more than that. If I don't know if it's unlimited or if it's 25K, or it may be unlimited. I have to read up on it again, but
That's
yeah, that's
smart to
that's
do
the,
it that
that's the
way.
only way, like 1099, you're not going to get the full benefit you could as if you were incorporated yourself, because that's how Trump is going to do it. Trump is going to benefit the corporate tax. So be a
And then,
corporation.
yeah. And then when you're just working off 1099s and you write shit off all over the place, it looks like you don't make anything. And then you don't qualify for investing in real estate or these other things. Like there's many other caveats just being like a 1099 entrepreneur. Like
There you go.
you have to look like you make money to make money, right? You have to earn money to make money. And if you write everything off and you're just a 1099, man, you're kind of peddling at that point.
Yeah, you'll
Right. I
lose
think
certainty
little.
at some point. Yeah, absolutely. There's only so much loss that you can take before the IRS starts to say, "Well, what are you doing here?"
Well, am I the only person having a cocktail tonight, or is anybody else having a cocktail? Or it's 10 o'clock my time. I don't know where anybody else is, but
I'm in LA, baby.
yeah, are you cheers into something, or are you just kind of
All right, we're gonna bring it back in and let some others speak. Lil Costly wanted to join the conversation. Lil Costly, you there? All right, take it away, Ella, Kayla, and Eric.
Well, I just have that cheap achiever type of vibe going on tonight. No cocktails.
no cocktails? Nice. Well, it's Friday for me. I'm just chilling out, Max, just sitting outside. I'm drinking a cold beer. Just wasn't sure if there's anybody else on the call, just chilling, maybe having a cocktail, just invite the conversation to a little more like hangout vibe. Like, I don't know. I must be the only one having a drink.
I'm having a smoke break, but that's neither here nor there. What's up, my brother 10K?
That's what I said. Chiba
What's
Chiba
up? What's
Space
up,
Cowboy.
Ken? Johnny, Dev, Eric, Caleb, all the superheroes on the stage. What's up, family? How you doing?
We good
What
to
is
have you.
up?
I'm just here chilling, catching up in the conversation. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, maybe Kayla, maybe you can pose my brother 10K. Maybe you can pose that question to him. Other ways we can get out and get some bread during
Right?
these trying times.
I mean, that's what it's about. You look at any time in the world in which there's been a crash or a major shift in social experience or the industrial revolution. I mean, whatever it is, there's major shifts and changes that happen in the world, and most people just get pissed off about them and they want to complain. But the people that look at it as a monetary gain, they look underneath the soil and they say, "Hey, what's going on and how can we ride this wave?" And that's what I'm interested in because there's a lot to complain about, right? I mean, but how can we use it to our advantage? I think everybody on this call, like, you want to live free. You want to not only monetarily make ends meet, but have freedom to do what you want to do in life. That's what it's about. We live in this illusion that, like, what you live the 9 to 5 and then you have the weekend and you just burn yourself out Monday through Friday, giving too many of your hours to pay for things that don't even necessarily really need. And I've spent time in Africa.
Caleb,
Like,
what cocktail are you drinking?
well, right now I'm drinking a Michelob Ultra, but I've had a couple shots of
Good.
vodka too. I mean,
I've been trying to jump in to compliment what you've been saying, but damn, you're switching from topic to topic.
I do. I do go
so,
topic to topic.
so
I
take a
have
look.
ADD. I have pretty
Take,
hard ADD, but I'm also like a big visionary, so it works for
there
me.
we go. Take a look at this killer. It can be the best of time for some. It can be the worst of time for others. The reality of the situation is you need to decide what is it going to be for you. Because where there's massive chaos, there's great opportunity.
Mhm.
So if you make a decision to look at it, and I love what Eric was saying, study the policies, study what's coming out, and see how you can position yourself to win. Trump is a businessman, and at the end of the
Mhm.
day, the policies will serve the business community. The good
Mhm.
news is, if you were formerly a 9 to 5 worker, you have the option to start a business. Just get
Right.
to the right professionals, and have them guide you accordingly. That would be my suggestion.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, and I feel like for people like ADD with me, like, it's like, okay, do I do a S corp? Do I do a C corp? Do I do a
You
LLC?
find
Like, it's
someone that can actually guide you correctly. Don't try to figure it out, Kayla. I'm in the
yeah,
business of buying
but
time.
to have someone to figure it out, do you know how much that costs? Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, people, like, at least for me, I'm an independent person. I want to figure it out myself. I don't want to pay somebody hundreds of dollars for something that I could find out myself. And that's what I think this community is about. Is
Kayla, pay hundreds to make thousands or millions. Don't try to save hundreds. Pay hundreds to make more. Try on that cap. Let me know how it fits.
yeah, that's good advice.
One of the things that I normally share with individuals, I'm in the business of buying time. What does that mean? Hire experts, get out of the way, and stop wasting time. That's how you buy time. So when you're in rooms like these, listen to what everyone have to share. Whatever makes sense to you, whatever checks out with you, connect with those individuals and have them guide you. The days of trying to figure shit out, go to ChatGPT if you need that kind of assistance, or find someone who's qualified to help you. That's what I would do if I were you, or for anyone on stage or in the audience that's considering.
Well, I feel like everybody has different giftings, and if we all put our giftings in the pot, like say you had people with high aptitude, right? Like not just people that want to live in the swampland and ride, but like the people that really want to get shit done. Like what if you could put all of those people together and all of those smart minds together and make something great?
That'll be a thing, huh?
Oh, it would be a thing. It would be an absolute thing. That's what it's about. Entrepreneurialism is like, hey, you have this, you have that, I have this, I have that. Like, let's put our pieces of the pie together and let's fucking do it.
Let's go.
Like, that's what it's about.
I'm with you. Ken, back to you, buddy.
Anyway, hey, where are you coming from? I just want to ask,
I'm
like, where are
I'm
you
in
at?
sunny Florida. Where are you at?
Oh, I'm in Northern California.
Oh, nice. So it's like 9 o'clock. It's like 10 o'clock there now.
Yeah, just hit 10. I've been building a damn chicken coop all day. I tell you what, man. I tell you what. They say build the coop and then buy the chickens. Well, shit. I bought the chickens and then I'm building the coop. I've got
Hey,
these like little chicks I just love so much. They're so sweet and like they all have their own personalities. You would never think that chickens are so like personality like orientated, but they are. And yeah, so I'm building a chicken coop this
you
weekend
did say you
and
have ADD, right?
I do.
I
Yeah.
believe you. Because I'm looking at the title. I'm like, chicken coop in a Trump Brilliance room. What the? Okay.
I know.
I moved over here. The conversation's dead over there.
What's
Listen,
going on,
What up,
Scooby?
What's up,
Scooby?
guys?
takes all sorts and all kinds.
I'm trying to figure out where is this going. Chicken coop. I'm like, wait, is there business coming up now? Oh man. You had me there for a second there, Kayla.
Well, if anyone wants to come to my house like this weekend and help me build the coop, it'd be awesome because I've been fretting over it for like literally like 3 weeks. Like I'm not even kidding. Like we got the chickens. The chicks are 6 weeks old. Like they super love me. Like I like open they're living in our house. My neighbor informed me yesterday that she's the first person, and she's 85 years old. She said that I'm the first person she's ever met that has actually had chicks be raised in a brooder the way that we're doing it inside their house. And I have to dust, like, I'm not kidding you, like twice a day and sweep like 3 times a day. But these little chicks are like my babies, and I care about them, and I want to have them put out in a good home. And so now I'm trying to figure out a chicken coop, and I'm building one out of a old carport, just using the carport frame. Well, it's not square.
So in the
It's not
meantime, you
square.
have the chickens in the house?
Oh hell yeah. Yeah, they're in the house,
Man,
man.
you got a patient zero type situation happen over there, honey. You're going to be the
Well,
patient zero of the bird flu pandemic. God
well, no,
damn.
they're in a contained area. Like we have a big house, so like they're in something we bought off Amazon that's like 3.5 feet tall by 4 feet wide, and they're like confined. Like they're all roosting on their little areas. Like it's not like they're like running around the house and I need diapers for them. Like it's not like that. It's just like, dude, we need to get y'all outside stat, you know. But I'm
Speaking of
trying.
diapers, like, let's bring it back to Trump. You know, like, how many times do you think he has to have a diaper change a day?
Probably, I mean, honestly, I think that Donald Trump, I'm kind of like wavering I'm like some of the things he's doing isn't cool, but when he was a candidate and he was like promoting himself, I really appreciated what he had to share. What he's doing now, I feel like we're just kind of like riding the wave, right? Like we have to trust that he's a businessman and he's doing smart things, but in the meantime, it's kind of fucking everything up.
Yeah, I'm fucking agnostic. One of the, I mean, look, it's not even 100 days in yet. It's not been the greatest 100 days, obviously. You know, with all this wealth being transferred in the to the tune of trillions of dollars. But yeah, I'm still agnostic as far as what they'll be able to do. I one thing that annoys the hell out of me is just watching all these people on social media, especially the ones that are posting about it every day, acting like they know exactly what the fuck is going on. And
Right.
I think I would think it would be refreshing if these people would actually just stop acting like they actually know what's going on. You know, I saw something that really pissed me off the other day. You know, if you know anything about the CCOT prison in El Salvador, this guy who's completely obsessed with his Trump situation right now, posting about it every day. He posted a side by side of Sikhat and like Auschwitz, trying to draw a parallel. And I find it to be insufferable to when
Mhm.
people are doing stuff like that. It's like, what an insult to the Jews who fucking suffered there, in the concentration
Yeah.
camps, and you're trying to act like Sikhat and a concentration camp are the same kind of thing, and try to tell me a cautionary tale on your social media story. I'm so tired of these people who act like know-it-alls every day because they're freaked out about Trump. It's just like, take a deep breath and go touch grass and fucking get off your
Hey,
fucking
go
social
raise
media
some
for a second.
chickens and try to put
Yeah,
up a
exactly.
damn
Build a
chicken
fucking
coop. Just
chicken
like
coop.
chill out and
Exactly.
go try to, do that for a while. Come
I
back.
got a question for y'all. Is there a reason y'all ain't downloaded Chatter? Because it works better than this.
Chatter?
Yeah,
Oh, is it? Oh, it's a different app.
yeah.
Oh, I
You
haven't
don't.
Well,
downloaded
I
it.
could tell you
Yeah,
one thing right now if you want a pragmatic answer. When I actually
that
went and looked at it today, and you know what? I would have had to relog in. It's fucking annoying. Like,
Yeah, I hate that
never have
log.
to log into. I mean, there's a simple thing their developers could do. I mean, I know.
I didn't have to re-log in. I log in once and that's it.
Sorry, Scooby, what is the name called?
It's called Chatter. That's
Cheddar or
where everybody's
Chatter?
at. That's where most
Cheddar?
of.
I'm sorry, I'm not understanding you. What did you say?
Yeah, it's called
Ch-
Chatter Social app.
Do
It's
you spell it? Spell it.
It's it,
I'm hard
it
of hearing,
it's
please.
in the chat, Rosie.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Bye bye.
and you'll need a once you download it, you'll need a passcode. Anybody can give you a passcode
Oh,
that that's on chatter
I just
already.
put
You
some in
that's
can
a
just
there,
lot for me,
and
though.
Tyson put
That's
some
a
in
lot of
there.
work. Is there another way around that? Like a
not right
two-step
now.
verification code?
Rosie, what you do is you download the app first, in whatever apps place you got, and then you come back in this chat right here and grab one of them links. That'll be your passcode. Those invitations.
I agree with you, Scooby, that it's got more functions, and so in that way, I guess it's better, you know. But the interface is kind of look. The interface here isn't great, especially since they changed it from the first time. But the interface on Chatter ain't that great either. It doesn't read very easily to me.
Well, I like it a lot better.
I'm gonna
Just
try Scooby right now. I'm working on it. Okay, I'm doing
just
10
because you
things
can
That's
at
see
once.
who.
that's
Bear with me.
interesting info to hear because I remember when like Clubhouse like first came out and I was like, oh, this is like the next greatest thing, right? But it never actually became that. Like there's a microcosm of people that use Clubhouse, but it didn't ever launch like Facebook, right? Or
Can I
these
can I
other
give you an
social
opinion?
media platforms. Like it never launched.
If I can give an observation, it seems to me that this social audio, and especially on Clubhouse, I don't know, I can't speak to Chatter. It really starts to light up when there's shit going down. Like during the pandemic, it was fucking hot to trot
Right.
because everybody's trying to figure out what the fuck's going on. People are
Right.
trying to have like open communication when communication was getting stifled by social media. So I feel like this is a great place for crisis. Like I bet if we go to war, or if the stock market really does crash like in a big way, there'll probably be a bunch more rooms. I feel like this is a crisis place, to be honest with you. I mean, other than that, they were just like doing real estate classes and trying, and it was like a bunch of like class hustles and shit. You know, that's how I look at the social audio where it's at now.
Good point,
Yeah.
Eric. I would like to add that what I'm having trouble with Clubhouse is when people link their stuff in the comments, I'm unable to click on it. So the problem has been coming from Clubhouse.
Do you have the most recent version?
Um, I asked me to update. I don't know if it asked me to update. It hasn't been telling me to update it on my phone. I update all the time. It's been like years.
Y'all being over here. The bad thing about being over here is it's a little time delay, but over there you can see who's speaking, and you ain't stepping on each other's toes as much once you're over there.
I know, but I can't click on the link. So what I'm gonna try to do is download the app first and see what happens. Okay?
Okay.
Okay. Stay on the phone with me, please.
Rosie, I could tell you,
Yeah.
Chatter's a great place. I've had 7 different accounts there,
7. How's
and
that
they've all been
possible?
wonderful.
Why
Yep.
the hell do you have to have seven? I mean, can't you just have
Right.
one?
Why do you need 7 for real? Why not link all in one? That's
Oh, I
more
would
work.
like to, darling. I would,
Oh,
but
okay. Okay.
there are
Understood. That's
certain
perfect.
posts that are
That's how it works.
touchy,
I
and
have like 10 different
yeah.
accounts. Like I can't keep up, but I need a special thing that can link a cloud all in one place, and nothing has been invented that way yet. The
I would
technology is
love that.
lacking.
Troll
That's the next
Hey,
technology.
problem.
I
My
agree. That's the next big
sorry.
thing.
hey, just
Yep.
to let you know, if you download it and get it now, in about another month and a half probably, version 2 is going to come out. I'm just approximating. And when it comes out, uh, it's going to be open worldwide on the App Store. And a bunch of people are going to, they're expecting, thousands of people to come on the app from foreign countries and all across the U.S. because they ain't got to deal with trying to get a invite, you know. So it'll be a lot easier. People just sign on and come right in once they do that. And if you have an account already, it'll just automatically update if you set it
Well,
up
I feel
that way.
like that's what we thought Clubhouse would be. So if you have some intel in that, you kind of see like the
Yeah.
proxy of a new app coming involved. I mean, all of us, we're looking at that like Facebook isn't like Facebook anymore, and Instagram isn't as cool as it was, right? I
At
mean,
all.
it can gain
It's
monetization, but like,
Instagram.
what's the next greatest thing? And we all thought it would be Clubhouse, but it didn't hit right. It didn't
Right.
hit how it was
My
anticipated
friends
to hit.
didn't like it. None of them have it.
Yeah, it's going to be over there. It's going to be
Really?
monetized, all that. It's going to have a lot more features with version 2. I don't know if they're all going to be implemented right at that moment, but it's going to have so much more applications download. I mean, it's already got video, but
What's it called?
it's called Chatter Social, and you can get it in the App Store.
And may I ask you one question, Scooby, if you don't mind me? Don't take it personal. I'm just asking a business question. Are you endorsed by this company? Do you
Huh?
have any affiliations with it?
Jonathan and Nelson run and own Chatter.
If they support it, then I'm gonna download it. One moment, please.
Yeah,
I feel like
that's
he's not.
It's
Jonathan
I
and
their
feel like
Nelson.
it's Nelson's
Scooby's
app.
not the type of guy that's like, "Hey, I'm making money off you." Like that's not Scooby. He's
No,
just
I'm
like,
retired Army. I
he
just
doesn't give a shit. He's
yeah.
like just giving real info.
Okay, thank you so much, Kayla, for confirming that. You know what I mean.
I just hang with good people.
It's called Chatter, Scooby.
Chatter Social. It's in the App Store. Now you don't got to get rid of
Wait,
this
I don't have
until you're set
Apple.
up there.
I have an Android. I don't use Apple products.
Oh
It
no,
sound
Yes,
Android.
Oh
sir. We don't
God.
Ugh.
do the internet.
Eek.
Sorry.
I'm
I'm
getting
not
sick in my
interested.
mouth.
it's on Android as well.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Chatter Social. I'm seeing it. I'm okay. I'm gonna pick it up.
I'm gonna pick it up.
Only
It's in the Google Play, guys.
only 392 reviews. So it's kind of like a low key thing. It's like what Clubhouse was, right? Like you think it's gonna be the thing, and maybe it will, maybe it won't. You never know.
Well, it's also this is being recorded and it's also in podcast form on three other on X, Instagram. I forget what the third one is, but it's already in the top 10 in the world and a lot of countries, and it's in the top 5 in a number of countries. The podcast is being recorded too from uh
You know which other? Sorry to interrupt you. Are you done speaking?
yeah.
You know what other app is really booming right now?
What?
I'm about to get into Tango.
Tango, what is
Man, I know people making bank on the app.
Oh,
what is
Yes,
really?
it? Is it
ma'am.
The app that
It's
lets
fun.
you
It's like
create
Bigo. Have you heard
how-to
of Bigo?
videos.
The app Bigo,
Wait,
Bigo.
what about? Let's get back to Tango. Is that the app that helps you make how-to videos with AI?
I don't know how it
Pretty
works.
sure it
All I
is.
know is just downloaded it a while back and I never deleted it out of my phone, which means I wanted to come back to it when I had time to play, and I haven't had time to play, to be honest with you.
Well, makes me feel like I should put my damn chicken coop up on there and say this is how I did it.
Just yeah, make it a hobby. You like
That's
chickens, right?
right.
Go ahead and show them
I
your
like Kayla.
chickens. They love seeing animals.
Yeah.
And then start selling your chickens. There's your business. Boom, eggs,
Those are
chickens.
her babies, miss. Have some
Yeah, I'm
respect.
not, I can't, my little chicks, man, they're
Oh,
ridiculous. If we had video right now, I could go in and show you. They're
oh
ridiculous, but they're all
my
perched up.
gosh.
They're asleep. They're the sweetest.
I had chickens growing up, so I know when they got too big, we would give them to the country, our maid in the building. We would give it to him and he would go raise them, and I would go visit him and I would watch them. And there were so much, chickens are so funny.
Oh, they're
They're like
awesome.
I,
characters. When they're mad,
They are.
they're so mean. They hurt when they peck. But they're just telling
I
you,
live
hey,
in the
I'm
country.
pissed off, you
I
know?
live in the country, Indiana, so I'm chickened out.
Oh yeah, I'm come from the country, so I'm a country girl.
Where's everybody from? Kayla, where are you from?
I'm in Redding, California.
Oh yeah, 10K.
Yeah, just Northern
What's that?
California.
Where are you from?
I'm from Florida.
What part?
Davenport, baby.
Davenport. I grew up
Oh
in
my
Pensacola.
gosh.
Rosie.
What's
I'm from
that?
Tulsa, Oklahoma
I'm
918.
What state are you in?
Tulsa.
I'm in Indiana, just outside of South Bend, Notre Dame.
Nice. Nice. You need to get the ass over to Florida here, man. It's nice and
Where
warm.
you
I'm
at, Scooby?
going there. Don't worry. I'm working.
I
Oh, sorry. Who's he?
I live just outside a place called Lakeville.
Oh, you
Nice.
down the street from me. I'm in South Bend.
Oh yeah, where you at,
I'm
Ken?
in South Bend. I could walk to Notre Dame
Oh, are
from my
you
house.
okay? So you're over there. I live in Lakeville,
I know you
so
just
I
south of
live out.
me, but that's
Yeah,
right
You live
there.
in Indiana?
that's so
Indiana?
crazy because I've not even met anybody from Indiana, much less South Bend.
My best friend lives in Indiana. I can't wait to go there. I've never been. I don't like Indiana, to be honest with you. I just the politics in that department. But to be honest with you, I heard it's a beautiful state.
I don't like it either, but I'm from Chicago, so it's a little more
Hmm.
calmer. But it's
Hmm.
it's
There's not much going on here, is there, kid?
not really. I like it like that. To me, it's better to raise kids versus in Chicago where I'm from.
Yeah, it's a lot
But
safer.
Where?
I made it.
Safer where, in Chicago or Indiana?
Indiana.
Oh yeah, Chicago is bad news.
Yeah.
I mean,
Hmm.
where I go, I never have a problem. I go visit frequently. It's the company you keep.
Facts.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
there's some areas in Indiana I don't want to be caught up in, like Gary. It's not a very good time
Gary,
right
that's
now.
no Chicago.
Yeah, but that's right outside the Muhammad Ali complex, not too far.
Muhammad Ali. My
I
favorite.
found myself up in there one day and they told me, you don't want to be caught up in here. I had to stop over there to
Song.
get some gas. I think they're called Muhammad Ali complexes.
Hey, but Scooby, they doing the works in certain parts of Gary coming off the metro, and
Oh,
they doing the works over there. And one of the guys on the app, he doing some development there. They on the come up, almost like
I just missed Rush Street.
you said.
I don't know how old you are, but Rush Street used to be the shit.
Oh no, I ain't from there. I'm only 40. I'm
Oh, no.
about to be 44, but Rush Street. I'm gonna ask a couple of people about Rush Street.
Yeah, they'll tell you. It used to be club after club. You could leave downtown, you could go between clubs. Now they're all shopping, stores and stuff. But they used to be one club after another. Hey, Chad,
Hey, Scoop.
what you doing still awake?
Oh, I'm on my way out.
I came over here because it was dead over
Oh,
there.
they went to sleep early.
Everybody was asleep. There wasn't even 12, about just at 1 o'clock. Everybody was gone.
Where'd Daphne go?
She was there, but she must
Popped
have
in,
been asleep.
popped out.
Well, y'all, I'm a newbie here. I don't even know how the hell I got here, but I think I'm gonna dip out for the night. But it was good to meet
Okay,
y'all.
Callie, well, go
Hey,
ahead and
Nice to
Kayla.
meet you
close
as
it
well,
out.
guys. So here's the deal, guys. So what's going on? Is he brilliant or is he chaotic?
Chaotic.
It's just a place to talk, man. Like, you know, debrief, talk about life. Like, if it fits you, it fits you. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Like, it's not like too much.
One second. We're talking. One second. We're not talking about life.
Hey, Jonathan,
Yes.
we'll find out down the road if he's brilliant. I don't know. Time will tell. It's not. It's too soon, I think.
Scooby, you are a genius.
Well, we talked about it all night long, and a lot of different points of views have come up, but nobody really had an answer, and we don't know if his programs are going to work or if he just knee jerked us and made these rash decisions, and we're all going to suffer from it.
Well, we are suffering. The app is not even working that you're telling me about the chat show. So I'm losing hope here. I just asked for
Yeah,
help.
can you guys get her off the
It's
stage? Whoever that is.
not.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think.
So anyway, guys.
Oh, go ahead.
No, guys. No. But I just say, by the time we figure this shit out, it'll be too late. Damage will be done if we don't act. So that's just me. That's my belief. That's
Yeah,
my
I
belief.
think. I think he's. I honestly think that what he's doing. I haven't seen. I don't get how people can have such blind faith because I haven't. He doesn't have a track record of tearing something down and building it back up. He doesn't have a track record of doing that, like a positive. He has a track record of doing it, but actually getting positive results for someone other than him. We have yet to see that when it's in his private businesses, on TV. First administration, we have yet to see him tear something down and build it back up better. So I don't understand how people have such confidence in him to wait.
I can totally see what you're saying, like 100%. But at the same time, I feel like part of the reason that he is in the role he is in, or what he's doing, is like cleaning the swamp, because there is so much shit within government that we've paid for with our tax dollars and with all of these things that we don't even know we've done. We don't even know. And he's kind of like cleaning house, and he's using who is it? Elon Musk, and Elon's like super smart brain to kind of like clean house, clean it up, get it back to the basics. That's what I think. I don't know it. I don't know that it's true. I'm just saying, like, I think that he might be trying to clean shit up. I don't know.
I don't
I
expect him to
personally
clean
would
it.
have questions about Musk being a super genius.
Oh, I think he's an absolute super genius. I think he's an emotional retard. I think he's a social retard. I think he's horrible. I mean, my God, he's had what, 12 children with three different, five different, six different women. I don't know off the top of my head, but like, he's not your smartest person in the pot, but he's smart in the way that he's smart. And I feel like that's Trump too. He's not your smartest person in the pot, but he's smart in the way that he's smart. And so, if we can ride on what they're doing and monetarily gain off their stupidity or intelligence, deem it one way or the other, it is an opportunity. That's what it is. It's an opportunity. Like, we don't need to judge Trump or judge Elon Musk, because honestly, if I did, like, emotionally or socially judge Elon Musk, I'd be like, dude, you're a fucking retard and I want nothing to do with you. But like, I have to look past that. I have to look past all of his iniquities socially and say, this is, he's doing something. I mean, how the hell were they able to find all of that uh free spending that had been happening? Like, like regardless of what you believe, man, they've undercovered like a lot of shit. So like, based on that
Uh,
alone, I'm like, cool, clean it up,
there's
clean it
no,
up.
there's, do you know what? A couple of things. A couple of things. First of all, everybody who applauds and just believes that Musk is a super talent should really investigate his career, his background, and what he's actually done
Oh,
beyond
I have.
being
I
okay.
actually have.
o-
He
Okay,
has,
so
and from
uh,
my perspective,
can
he
I
has
let
no
can I
morality.
okay? I'll just finish and then you can. From my perspective, the creature that I could compare him to most closely is like a cuckoo who just goes from nest to nest, doesn't build
Hmm.
anything, but
Yeah, he's an
somehow
opportunist. Yeah.
okay. So he has fantastic PR. His timing has been great. His associations and
Hmm.
having access to funds that allowed him to do something, basically destroy many things, but somehow something happens and he gets recognized as being a genius. But if you look
Hmm.
deeply into his achievements and what has really happened, you need to look at the people around those businesses who've actually made it work. That's my first thing on that.
Oh, he's
The-
fucked a lot of people over. Like, that's the thing. We're not talking about character at all. Like, he sucks.
I'm not talking character. I'm basically talking about the fact that he's being held in this regard about being a genius in terms of what he has executed and how his companies have been super fantastic and successful. You said that you've done your research. Okay. What I've discovered, what I've learned, what I've seen with his businesses and his associations and the boards that he's been ejected from and how he's established himself, I would question that. And I have big question marks about that, but I do acknowledge brilliant PR, brilliant PR. And you know, if you look at the one thing that kind of I think demonstrates really clearly how poor as a businessman he is what he's done with Twitter, the destruction of Twitter. That's the moment that he said, I want to be hands on. And it's been an absolute catastrophe. And secondly, has anybody noticed how quiet things have been recently around Musk? That he's basically disappeared? I mean,
Yeah.
it's amazing.
But there's a reason why. And people that want to undercover and gain, it's because they look under the why. They look under the hood of the car. Yeah, the car lost it all, but it's still running. Why is it running and how can I be a part of that? Like, I can't take away the fact that Elon Musk is one of the most powerful people in the world. And I can't take away that Donald Trump is the president of the United States. And I can't take away that they're in cahoots. What I can do is analyze what they're doing and be a ride on that stream. Like, that's what you have to do.
But Kayla, man, I don't know how you guys do this on a day to day. Listen, if you're going to tear something up, you should have a plan already to put something in place. If I go out and tear up the street as a contractor, we already got the plans on how the street going to be. We're not going to tear it up and have people waiting and then
100%.
develop
Yeah.
the plans. If you're going to build a structure and it's a building already, you're going to tear it down, but you're going to have a plan first. Sometimes they not going to even let you start unless you have a plan. You can't
Right. But
dismantle
that's
things.
where we have
No,
to.
hold on. Uh, we let you. You can't dismantle something and you plan with people economically. You fired. You getting people fired. You plan with people economics. You plan with people life. You plan with
Right.
their health care. Hold on, because you just mentioned how you pay for what you pay in your health care. You mentioned that earlier, and it
Hmm.
comes to the sum that you mentioned, which was 8,000. I'm not saying nothing you didn't say, but the
But that
people
was
that can't.
property
Hold
taxes.
on,
But yeah.
and you mentioned how what the people got that gets from the government, it sucks, correct? But that's all they got. How can you dismantle that? They can't afford to pay the 8,000 that you can afford to pay. So how can you dismantle that before you have a plan? That's not right to the people that you supposed to serve. Y'all got to stop that. Now,
Yeah, actually, I
second thing, hold on. I'm addressing the second thing. You saying they finding all of this spending, how do we spend money as a country? They vote on it, correct? Both Democrat and Republican, they pass bills, and that's what they use those bills for. So they didn't uncover anything that wasn't unknown because they have a plan when they do that. Unlike y'all president that y'all keep riding for. They had a plan when they allocated whatever money they allocated to send over. They had a plan and what it was supposed to be spent for. So he didn't uncover nothing. So
oh,
how
he's
you guys keep
uncovered
giving him,
he
ma'am?
has uncovered so many, like,
How
how?
the
Because
stuff
he's
was
looked
voted
at
on
the
and
federal the
legislations was
feds.
passed for?
He's looked at the feds and said, "How are you spending your money? Do we need to watch somebody build a damn hole? Do I need 16 people to actually build a hole federally, or do I just need somebody to build a damn hole?" Like, there's been so many irreverent, irresponsible reasons for people to be, my tax dollars are paying for them to do something stupid. Stupid. And he's cleaning up on that. I don't think that Trump is great, like 100% all the way, but I do think that there is a lot of smoke and mirrors. We are talking generations upon generations of, hey, I'll scratch your back, I'll scratch yours. And like, hey, I'll give you, like with Biden, right? with Biden and his son. How the fuck that ever rode out as cool should be a question mark in everybody's brain.
Biden's son never ran for office.
No,
Never.
you're right. He didn't run for
He
office. He
never.
just got like $1
Now,
million
if
a
you
year.
speaking on the pardon, that may be shaky, but wasn't nobody else gonna do it
No,
behind them if they
you're
didn't
right.
win the
He never
election.
ran for office, but
And you would pardon your son. I mean, everybody had that false
I
soft spot.
would.
I mean, he lied to the American public and told us he wouldn't. But when it all boiled down, he knew Trump was gonna win, and he knew that it wasn't gonna be no way for him to get
Why
a
did he
pardon.
pardon Fauci? Why did he pardon all the other people? Why did he
Listen,
pardon everybody else?
everybody relate to COVID-19. That happened on the Donald. Biden wasn't in power when we got COVID. How is it his fault? He came to help clean up. How is it his fault that you got if Trump was so brilliant and he secured the American people, how did the virus get into the United States if Trump was so brilliant? That happened under his watch. If
Yeah,
they
the
bound
reason why
hold up, let me speak, please. If Fauci and them bamboozled Trump enough, he's not as smart as we claim he is.
well, we
Would you
never
agree?
told Americans you can't go to China, you can't go to Japan. We didn't have closed borders. And so people brought shit in from other places, but you know what? From my
Ma'am, he
demographic to
ran
say
on the
you're going to be
border
fired
before
if you don't get a
he ran
vaccine
on the
is
border
fucked up.
before COVID came in, so he was already trying to secure the borders. He had a ban on the Muslims, he had a ban on these other people. So spare me the
Ooh.
details. Spare me the details, please.
Yeah, they made lies about the
We're not
vaccine. They
talking
made it
about the
all
vaccine. You
about
said
health.
Trump didn't tell people he couldn't go certain places. He told the Muslims they couldn't come here. He could have told Chinese people they couldn't come here. If he had control of his position as executive, he should have knew what Fauci then was doing. All those scientists, he should have knew what the CDF was doing. If he had control like y'all say he did, I don't think he as smart as y'all giving him credit for. Y'all need to stop it. And if
But the
Sleepy
thing
Joe,
is,
and
he was
hold
in
on,
court
and if
every other
Sleepy
week.
Joe was so sleep, how did we get out of this crisis?
Well, certainly wasn't because
Somebody
of
can
him, because
prove.
he couldn't
Somebody
even
can
hold a
prove
press
to me.
conference.
No, I would say talk to the man that was in office when it started. I wouldn't have gave y'all no statement either. The man that started, I would have said the man when it started is in the office. Go talk to him.
I
He the brilliant one. He let Fauci them bamboozle him. When I got there, I got control of them. Stop it. Stop it.
Ay, caramba. Hey, listen, Sister Kyla. Another thing that you mentioned, which is valid in terms of nepotism, but I'm an equal smoke guy, right? Does Trump have any family? Are they in the cabinet? Are they exploiting the system to their advantage, according to your estimate? Hey, 10K, I haven't seen you for years, bro. Good to see you,
I
man.
would say, just to answer you, it's possible.
What's
I
up,
mean, I
family?
don't know.
What's up?
Welcome back, bro.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it, fam.
Yes, Kyla, I'm so sorry. Forgive me, sister. Carry on.
It's Kayla. Kayla.
Okay, Kayla.
Yeah, no, it's possible. I mean, anything is possible, but
Have you looked at the data?
I feel
Because
I have looked at the data.
it's not possible. It's a fact that they playing with the markets and they feeding their pockets, right?
I think so too. That's my whole point in this whole entire
Uh,
conversation. That's
But
my
Bully,
whole
before
point.
even the markets, they already had the business with the Saudis. They was already benefiting, feeding their pockets. It was before the markets, and he doing it again. You should say.
Right, but rather
How you
than
gonna say
bitching and
right, and
complaining
then you gonna
about it,
say
why
maybe
don't
they
you get
doing it,
on
and
the
they doing it
market?
in your face?
Oh,
But
say what
you
now?
condemn Hunter.
Hey, did you catch
uh,
what you just said? Like, Kayla, are you saying that a public uh, 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 and a president that's supposed to represent the people are breaking the law and we're not supposed to bitch about it?
No, I'm saying that
With inside
he is
information.
Are
calling
y'all gonna
out.
give her the opportunity to answer?
Yes, ma'am, we are.
Yeah.
But she's
He
deflecting
is
though.
calling out. No, he is calling out the corruption of the government. He is calling it out. Do you not realize that from Bill Clinton to George Bush to many years prior, they have all laid in bed with each other and made these, hey, I'll make a deal with you, I'll make a deal with you. And Donald Trump is the first president that doesn't give a fuck about all that because he makes enough money. He doesn't care. He just actually wants to try to make something good for America. And yes, he's a narcissist. He wants it to be under his name because he wants to be the one named cool for doing it. But like, do y'all not realize that we've been in cahoots with China for so many years that we're losing our country? Like, does nobody realize that?
Kayla,
Are we
just a
all just
couple of
so
things.
short sighted that we're going to look at the like little mini things that are happening
Okay,
without
Kayla.
realizing that all of these politicians have been in cahoots and
Right,
made friends
Kayla.
and made
Hold
deals?
on, Super Cat.
Kayla, we get your point. We get your point. Just wanna address a couple of things. You said at some point during your discourse that Trump had come in to clear or clean the swamp.
Yeah,
So
hell yeah.
you did okay, all right. So I don't know on that basis how when he launches his own coin ahead of being elected, no one knows who is buying or purchasing, how he's making millions on the back of that isn't swampy is one thing.
Every
Secondly,
president
sorry,
has
so
been
let me finish.
swampy. Every
Let me
president has been swampy.
Oh my
let
God.
me
Why the
finish.
hell is
Let me finish. I'm just addressing. He's in there to clear the swamp according to your
And
statement.
he's not
If that's
swampy.
the case, yeah, if that's the case, launching a coin that accrues billions isn't a good look. That's the first thing. The second thing is
he's
he
a
has.
businessman? What do you
Can I
expect?
finish? Can I finish?
Yeah,
The
but
second thing.
like
Yeah,
I'm
she
not
keeps on
surprised.
moving the
Oh my God.
goalposts, Supercat.
Can I just, let me finish, and then you can come back at me.
Yeah, let's let
Then
him finish,
he
please.
has his own platform. He has his own social media platform that if you want to understand what he thinks, you have to have access to that. He has shares that he has now sold. He's made millions on the back of that. Okay.
Well, that's fine. I mean, I
Okay.
don't have a problem with that.
Okay.
That's called
Okay.
being a business person.
Oh my
And
God.
you got a problem
You
with
keep
Hunter
you
and Biden?
you keep talking about the swamp. I'm just showing you that your argument doesn't really stand up. If he's cleaning or in there to clear the swamp, then what she should also be doing is to say, okay, nobody can address or say that I'm doing anything that is even suspect. So they're just flagging those two things. And then the third thing I want to just address, one of the core reasons why people in the US are bankrupt is because of court cases, because they have health issues or court cases are the reasons why people are bankrupt. Fauci was given a pardon because he knew, Biden knew that he was going to be pursued and would have to defend himself
Oh God, that's so
legally. And it would,
ridiculous.
I'm
That's
sorry?
that. I'm sorry. What you're saying is ridiculous right now. It
Okay,
really
it's
is.
ridiculous. Okay.
Fauci enabled a vaccine that has killed millions of people, and Pfizer just now released the side effects of their vaccine. And everybody that took the vaccine was a rat. They were a experiment. They didn't have any experiment because the story or the narrative was this is new. We don't know what's going to happen with it, but we've created something that can help you. And now, 2 years later, they have the list of side effects and it's fucking killed people.
hmm Hey, but
Okay,
listen,
no, hold on.
real
Hold
quick,
on, hold
Ken,
on,
if
hold
I
on.
may,
Let me
just
finish
two
that.
seconds. I have to leave,
Go
bro.
ahead. Go ahead.
Okay,
And they
I
didn't give
appreciate
people
you.
a
Hold
choice.
on,
Appreciate
No,
you,
I
Kayla.
want to
Ken.
say this. I want to
You
say
stop,
this.
Kayla. Hold
Thank
on.
you,
Let him
King.
They
respond.
didn't give
Thank you,
people a
Kayla,
King.
Kayla,
choice.
Kayla.
I know people, my
Uh,
homies, they
yeah,
lost their
hey,
jobs,
Kayla.
they lost their lives over all of
Yeah,
this.
we've heard all of those
Like,
talking
it's
points
not
before. It's
cool.
not. Of course, it's not cool. But you get into the details when we're supposed to look at things holistically and vice versa. and you're inconsistent according to my assessment. But have Trump pardoned any of his stooges?
Trump never mandated anything as far as the vaccine is concerned.
You don't answer
Never.
questions, right? My question was, have Trump pardoned anyone on his side of the lot?
Yes, he has.
You
Too
see how that
many.
work? So my thing is, logically speaking, both of them are bad. No?
Possibly. It's
Both
possible. It
both
absolutely
of
is
them are
possible.
swampy.
It's possible. It's absolutely possible, of course.
So how come you don't have equal smokes for both
Because
sides of the spectrum? Do you have any agenda? Do you have bias? Maybe dissonance?
I
I'm
do.
just
I
asking
do.
genuinely, right?
Yeah, I genuinely do. My
Oh,
bias
okay.
is I want people
Thank you
to
for
have,
being honest.
yeah, my bias is I want people to have free speech. I want people to have free choice. I want people to do with their bodies what they want to do. I want them to be free individuals. That's my
That
bias.
the
And
irony. Oh, my bad.
anytime anytime a government robs you of your economic ability, meaning firing you from a job for not getting a vaccine, which, by the way, has shown that they started with, oh, if you get the COVID vaccine, you're not only not going to get COVID, but you're not going to get anybody infected with COVID. That was all bullshit.
Hey,
And
yo, Ken, I will
Pfizer
leave
just
after this
released,
one.
No, no, no. Let me get
Pfizer,
in while we
they
still on
just
COVID,
released
because
last week.
Hold on, hold on.
Hey,
I'll let y'all
it's
two
just
go. Hold on.
10
No,
seconds,
just
bro.
hold
I
on.
swear to God.
No, just
Okay, cool, cool,
while we
cool.
on
You
this,
got it.
because
You got
you
it.
know
You
she
got it,
gonna
King.
move it.
You
This
you
just
got
real
it. You
quick.
got it, King.
Just
You
hold
got
on,
it, King.
bully. Just hold on, Kayla. Now you said that you was talking about Fauci, right?
Yeah,
And you was talking about the vaccine, correct?
I was. Yeah.
Who initiated um Operation Warp Speed?
Well, why don't you tell me? Because I think that's kind
It
of,
was President Donald Trump.
but he didn't mandate
It
it.
hold we ain't got to that part yet. We got
Otherwise, I
hold
would have
on,
had to
hold
be
on. See, you
vaccinated.
trying to move.
I would have
We
had to
no
been
hold on.
vaccinated.
We spoke about the vaccine, and we spoke. You said Pfizer released something. If Donald Trump wouldn't have jump started, and remember he said quickly, Operation Warp Speed, would Pfizer had the funding or had a reason to even make the vaccine that injured a lot of people?
I don't know the answer to that, to be
How you
honest
don't
with
know
you.
the answer when they got the first funding under your president Donald Trump?
All I can tell you is I did not get
That
the
ain't all.
vaccine.
See, we talking about facts, and you talking about what you think. I'm talking about what we know. Everybody saying that he released all this stuff about COVID. So this is the stuff that we know. If y'all all went to the website and y'all glorifying him for releasing stuff, this stuff that we know he initiated Operation Warp Speed. He actually wanted his name on. He actually wanted his name on the stimulus. He wanted his name when they was talking about, oh, we'll just send it in a card, a Trump card. So let's stop the bullshit. It didn't start
Okay.
under Biden. It started under the guy that you guys are praising now, and that's why Donald Trump was in chat. I'm glad you're here because you said that um it was given that Biden didn't give a comment. I wouldn't have gave a comment either. I would have said the guy that it started under is back in power. Go talk to him.
Biden didn't have the aptitude to give a damn comment. If you all noticed, he couldn't even
I would
be
have
on
Yeah,
played
the.
dumb too, cause
it's
I've been like, damn, they asking me. I'm supposed to be the slow sleep one. They asking me questions, and the man that's in office when it started, they ain't asking him shit. I would have been sleep too.
hey,
Well, I would love to be Biden's child and have
what about
pardons and like $1 million and like just
what about
write off
Trump's
that.
child?
Like, cool.
You would love to be Trump's child too. Hey, real quick, Kayla. One thing you mentioned body autonomy, right? Which I think is very ironic in terms of how about Trump trying to restrict healthcare pertaining to women and their rights? Do you care about
I don't
their
think he's restricting women's rights. I think he's being smart about it. He's putting it to the state. Hey, if you want to have an abortion, go to a state that you need to have an abortion. Like, it's state by state, and it's how it should be. America is a huge country. Like, my God, we can't blanket statement everything. Like, if you want to have an abortion, go to a state where they allow it. But federally, we're saying, dude, don't kill babies. It's not really that big of a fucking problem. Like, don't kill babies. And if you want to kill your baby, go to a state where you can. And Donald Trump made it state by state. It's not that hard. Like, to me, it's not that hard to reconcile with.
you're contradicting yourself. In one note, oh, it's state by state, and the next you say, oh, don't kill babies. Are you pro-life
I'm
or
pro
pro-choice?
life. I'm pro life. But if you want to be pro
Yeah,
choice,
so
go
how
to a
come?
state that's pro choice. Like, move.
So he's making it harder for people to have bodily autonomy. Yeah, or nay?
Well, I'm a female. And I understand if I have sex with somebody, I might get pregnant, right? Like, that's just a fucking thing. It's just how the cookie crumbles. I shouldn't be irresponsibly having sex with people unless I'm willing to be responsible for the outcome.
Hey,
And
listen,
that's
why are
where,
you reducing it to that? You
because
know,
that's
it's a
how it is.
myriad of reasons why people end up taking abortions, right? You're being a little disingenuous, my
No,
sister.
what I'm saying is that women have been ployed to be this like vessel that you can just fuck and get your own heart on and your own, like, men, like, they think of it in a different way. A woman, they have a child they have to care for. Like,
I understand all of this, but this is just rhetoric. You're talking about bodily autonomy in it sounds to me like it's okay for you to with Trump having one rule for me and another rule for thee. And I don't get how you don't see that, right? And once we, I'm asking you about the inconsistency. You just go into either deflection and goalpost moving, and I don't want to be rude or send anything, but it's just like a little babbly. But it's cool. We can agree to disagree. I don't really understand where
how
you're
many
coming from.
men, they just went out for a one night stand and oops, got a girl pregnant and they actually take control as fathers?
and vice
Let's talk about
and
that.
vice
Hold on.
versa,
Let
ma'am.
me.
Vice versa. You got plethora of women having one night stands, seeking men, and they get pregnant. It's neither here or there. The point is bodily autonomy, and that was your talking point towards Biden and the vaccine. And I mentioned the irony of you mentioning that. What is your stance when it comes to Trump? And you over here doing the Trump shuffle. But I'm just
Well,
gonna leave
I
it at that.
probably would subscribe to the Trump shuffle because do what you want to do within your state. That's basically what he said. If you want to fuck around and be a prostitute and sleep around every night and get pregnant, go to a state where you can have abortions and be stupid with your body. It's not good for women. It's not good for babies. It's not good. You don't do that with your life. You don't use abortion as birth control. It's not appropriate. You have to understand that sex is sacred. And when you sleep with somebody, it means something. And if you get pregnant, then you should be responsible enough to own it. But people aren't.
Your presentation is so shallow. You're taking into account the woman who has been impregnated because she's been raped. No, you're not taking that into account.
What about a
You're
one
not
night
Hold
taking.
on. She
stand?
didn't. But she
Let me
didn't say that.
finish. You're not taking into account the fact that some poor girl may have been molested by uh, a
Those
parent,
are
for
few and
instance.
far off.
It
Those
doesn't
are few
matter.
and far
It doesn't
between.
matter. It happens. Okay. The
Yeah,
same
well,
way that
you
you'll say,
men, honestly, I
let
have to
me,
tell you, you
can you,
men
can
are
you just,
so
oh,
irresponsible. Not you in
oh,
this
oh
call,
my
but
God.
men are
You
so
won't let me,
irresponsible.
Kayla,
we
let her
listen to
finish.
you. If we listen to you, I'm just throwing something else out. I'm saying that not all pregnancies come because a man has been irresponsible. There are instances where a woman becomes pregnant willingly in a relationship. The doctors then determine
That's
that
not
the
the
baby.
world anymore.
Oh,
People
what do
do
you mean?
Kayla,
one night
let her
stands. They go to
finish.
a bar,
Oh
they
my
meet
God.
somebody. Like,
You're trying to kill my conversation without allowing me to finish. There are a number of instances where there's a reason why the pregnancy should not go forward. The doctors might say there's a danger to the mother. So we should terminate. Under what has been presented now, that is illegal. And then you say state by state. Most Republican states won't allow terminations. So many people are now driving to Democratic states or flying or whatever, adding to cost, where they might be able to get terminations. So saying it's state by state doesn't help a person who's in a difficult position.
well, I would say quit going to bars and clubbing late at night and then going and having sex when you don't mean to. I mean, seriously, get your head out of your ass.
You just dismissed totally what I said. Talking,
Well, you're talking about like
Her,
you have a farm and you just have like some woman and oh, you had a baby.
no,
Oh, you got pregnant. Oh, it didn't work out. Like
no, I did not
it's
say
not
that.
the world right
I
now.
gave you an instance of a pregnancy wanted, but something has gone wrong, and the doctor says it should be terminated. I've
Well,
given
the
you the
doctor will
I've given
terminate, and that doesn't matter wherever you are in the
no,
world. The
no,
doctor
under
will.
the no, under the current provisions, that isn't possible. And also, you've dismissed what I
That's
said
not
about
true.
it's it is okay. You've also dismissed what I've said about a woman being raped. You've also dismissed what I've said about an incestuous pregnancy. You've dismissed those as well.
You're right. I dismiss them because I
let me
find them
jump
all
in
to be
down there because
bullshit.
y'all two ain't gonna y'all ain't gonna agree now on this specific topic, and we need to get back to the original topic. But since y'all on it, I'm kind of on both sides of the aisle. Like with for both reasons. Like I agree with you, Kayla. It shouldn't be a form of birth control. Abortion shouldn't be a form.
Exactly.
Hold on.
Exactly.
I don't need you to jump in.
Let the mod
I'm just
finish.
gonna say
Okay.
what I'm gonna say, and then y'all can both, because I'm gonna hit on both of y'all points, as I go real quick. Um, because I know women that done had six, seven, eight. I think it should be a cap, but I think that the choice. Hold on. I think that the choice should always, lie within the woman, and possibly to discuss with the man. We'll get there when we get there as people, but ultimately with the woman, especially with our doctor when things are that come up medically. That's if you got to terminate, that should always be a choice. Now, other things that he get, like if he don't want women to have abortions, they also getting rid of ways to tie tube ligations where you can tie your tubes. They getting rid of condoms, other ways to protect you from having those unwanted kids. So you got to look at the picture as a whole. It's other things that they're counseling, like he said, with if someone raped, that shouldn't be that's a no brainer. That's what they going against that. What you guys don't realize, they saying what y'all saying, but they also the same people that y'all empowering. They saying what we saying too. Y'all just missing it for some reason. I don't know if it's intentional. I don't know if they got the little things dangling under y'all, got y'all mesmerized. But how could you try to eliminate condoms as a government, as a state, if you don't want these people to have abortions? That's a protection, not only from babies, but from some of these diseases. And y'all trying to control the medicine. How we gonna get care for them? They counseling studies for gonorrhea and all these other things. So again, where is the autonomy that you guys pushing for? Where is the inclusion in the people? And that's
Can,
on both
can I
sides.
That's a good point, actually, what you're making there. Like, where is that all about? I just want to say this, too, to both these points. And I don't understand why this can't just be understood by everybody. Like, look, I have 3 kids. Me and my wife and I have had 2 abortions. One was a very long time ago, like teenager type shit, and the second one was right after our second kid, like right away after our second kid. We were like, whoa, it's too early, right? But I've been to all the doctor visits, went to all the ultrasounds, went to all the shit throughout all the pregnancies, right? Been through there for all the births. I don't understand why we can't get it. Abortion is a procedure that must exist, right? We mentioned rape. And by the way, Trump said this. Trump even said, except for the exceptions, rape, incest, and life of the mother. That's what Trump
Mm-hmm.
said. But either way,
Mm-hmm.
rape. So, rape, obviously, no woman should have to look at a baby and be reminded of one of the worst moments of her life. And that piece of shit who raped her doesn't deserve to have a seed in the world. So, obviously, incest, obviously, someone molesting a kid, obviously, which is by the way rape. But even that, imagine some girl who's out on the streets, having down her luck, whatever, and she passes out doing some drugs and shit, and then wakes up, and next thing you know, a month later, she's pregnant. She's like, "What the fuck?" They
Exactly.
literally, literally don't
Exactly.
even know who the dad is, right? She's like, "What the
Yeah.
fuck, bro?" Like she shouldn't be bringing a kid in the world. So rape is a procedure that has to exist. We get it. But what I think we're talking about here is these elected abortions. I don't
Mm-hmm.
understand why we can't just do this, right? The first trimester, then the second trimester, there's like this test,
But you
right? After the
can't use it
heartbeat,
as birth
after the sex
control.
test, after the birth defect test, after all this stuff, there's like this one final test. I think it's like 21 weeks, right? Which is basically into the second trimester. I wouldn't put it on weeks because depending on the doctor visit, whatever, right? But after this final test, when everything's fine, the mom's fine, the baby's fine, everything's
Mm-hmm.
fine, you're about
Mm-hmm.
to enter the third trimester. At that moment, no more abortions.
Right.
Like, why can't we
Okay,
Exactly.
just
good stuff. Good
understand
stuff. Good
this?
stuff. You know,
Like, I get it, right? Something could come
good
up in
stuff.
the
Good
twelfth
stuff. Good
week, then
stuff.
some
Good
crazy
stuff.
shit comes up.
Jonathan
But, like,
talking.
deciding to get an abortion after everyone's healthy and fine is kind of wild.
Yeah. I totally
All right,
agree.
one mic.
That's
One
kind of
mic.
where
One
I'm
mic. One
coming
mic. One
from.
mic.
Kayla, quiet for a second.
All right, guys. All right, first and foremost, CH, we're gonna do a reset, quick reset on the room. This room will be ending and opening up in 5 seconds. Okay, if you find yourself in the hallway, all you have to do is come right back in. CH's room will be, I guess, resetting, and you guys will be able to get back in 5 seconds. Hey guys, if you guys are listening to us at home, the follow up, the next section of this conversation will be on the podcast that's coming out later on today. So come back and download that episode as well. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to actually reset this room for CH.